Yo, what's up? Hello YouTube chat and hello Twitch. Let's give Twitch let's hit them with the duh. Hello guys. We're back for another Hunter x Hunter stream. We're reading the final volume, or we're starting the last volume this stream. Should finish it in the next stream. It's been I still have that bug bite on my nose. I look like a clown. A clown with the world's tiniest red nose. Anyway. Before we get started, we'll start in a second. I wanna say thank you to What's Left. Thank you for subscribing to my YouTube and welcome to the channel. Let's do that again. I want to say thank you to What's Left. Thank you for subscribing and welcome to the channel. Yeah, that was better. Hey, it's been a second since we last streamed, huh? Every time I promise, every time I say, oh yeah, let's stream tomorrow, just becomes a never, it becomes an impossibility for that to happen. It's not really an impossibility, it's just, one second. Music is a bit loud. But it's nice. Okay. Let's get started. Let me switch over to the manga scene. Volume number 39, or eventual volume 39. Chapter 401, Moonlight. Let's begin. Day 10. Tuesday, 11:45 a.m. Next, Longi, it's your turn. Excuse me. So it's day number 10. And this is the second batch of students that Kurobika is initiating to Nen. Because last time, he was doing it on the 9th day, right? I want to go back and check already. We'll check after reading. It's your turn. This way, please. Oh, the secret Nen user. How will she handle this? Will she pretend to awaken to Nen upon Kurobika's attack, or reveal herself once in the room? If only she'd kamikaze Prince Wobble. So this is the last one. The secret user. How will she handle this? So this is the only person that Fyurkov hasn't confirmed to be an Nen user. Or the final Nen user that he detected in the class. And this is definitely not the user for Silent Majority. So the user for Silent Majority is definitely someone else, and they haven't been detected by Fyurkov yet. What does that mean? Does that mean that the user is just that skilled? Or is the user just not in the room in the first place? They actually somehow triggered the ability without being included, without being close by. Can a conjurer do that from afar? Or is it a specialist? Could be a specialist. If it's a specialist, there's no limits to what they could possibly be doing. But if it is just a conjurer that conjured the snakes Uh, could they do it from remotely? Could they like have infected somebody? Last time they said the target was what's her name? The servant girl that got arrested. So did they place the curse on her before she entered the room? And they just left? Maybe it's a remote controlled ability. That's why Furikov is not detecting anybody else who can use Nen in the room. I don't need divination. I can use Nen already. Immediately reveals herself. But Kurabika and Bill are immediately suspicious, huh? I'm surprised Kurabika didn't straight up tell everyone, hey, tell me if you didn't use the Shane on everyone. I guess he doesn't wanna reveal that ability in front of everyone, so he couldn't use it. Otherwise, I'd be like, hey, everybody, tell me, do you use Nen or not? Show yourself. If you lie to me, I'm gonna shoot you. And immediately take them out. But then he would lay his hand and Furikov and Bobby Mina would know about his ability, which he doesn't want to reveal to them. I can use Nen already, but just so you know, those snakes weren't mine. I'd like to prove that and explain why I'm here. So she conjures a contract. My ability is called Transparent Words, Moonlight Act. It's a conditional manipulative ability. Conditional manipulative. By having someone sign a limited term contract, I can loan out my ability or restrict their actions. Loan out her ability. I would say and restrict their actions, no? Because you get the ability, but you're restricted to not breaking the contract. As long as you don't break the contract, you can use the ability. Also, 1 second. I just need to check something. Give me a refresh on this. And a refresh here. Okay. I'll give it a second. Okay. So she can loan out the ability to make a Nen contract, a contract that binds two people to specific conditions. This could be extremely useful in this kind of situation where you're constantly making contact with the enemy. Like Third Prince, they could conjure a contract with Third Prince to actually have his support. He would be kind of willing to like work with Kurabika. So putting that in words, or not in words, in an end contract that can actually have major consequences to anybody that breaks the contract. That could force the Third Prince to actually help Kurabika properly and work with him fairly. And Tubeba is willing to work with Kurabika. Third Prince is willing to work with Kurabika. Who else? I imagine Losers might not have too much of an issue. Maybe if he's still even alive by the end. By the time Kurabika can use the contract. Third Prince, Fifth Prince. Who else? Let's go through the list. 6 would be Tyson. Could maybe she might fancy Kurabika. She might be willing to work with him if Kurabika asks of her to make a contract with her. So that's 4 people. 3rd, 5th, 6, I can't count. That's 3 people, not 4. I'm just outing myself as a huge dumbass every time I stream. Okay, I can count, I swear. 3 people that are willing to work with Kurabika, relatively. third, fifth, and sixth prince. Um, who's next? Seventh prince Loserus. Maybe I don't see a reason why, but I don't see a reason why not either. Uh, eighth prince Salasal is gone. Ninth prince Hulkenberg. That's four. That's four people. I sure hope. Uh, third, fifth, sixth, ninth. Yeah. Kacho and Fugetsu, or at least Fugetsu, because Kacho's gone. Uh, that's five people. We even get from last chapter. Let me go back for a second. We get Melody actively asking Fugetsu to, actively asking Kurobika to save Fugetsu. So it could be used with Fugetsu, or something to save Fugetsu. It could be used, yeah. I don't know exactly how. I mean, I guess Fugetsu wouldn't be too. You wouldn't need the contract to work with Fugetsu. Maybe she just is fine working with Kurobika because she needs the help. They wouldn't need the contract in that case. We have Momoza and Mariam as well after that. And I can see Mariam as well working with them. They are at the very bottom of the chain. So Mariam isn't really the prince, he isn't the one actually controlling everything. It's their mother, Queen, what was she named? It wasn't Seiko. Seiko is Fugetsu's mother. I'm blanking on her name. But yeah, she could enter into a contract with Kurobika, the mother, not the prince. Because the prince, maybe they don't want the prince himself to suffer the consequences of the Nen rebound or the Nen conditions of the contract. So maybe the mother will offer, hey, make the contract with me, not with the prince. That's a lot of options, yeah. This ability is insanely useful in this specific situation. It's almost like this was made for this kind of situation, huh? A voluntary signature is required. Please hold your decision until you hear me out. You want my signature? What's the contract? Excuse me. An alliance with the fifth Prince Tobeba. However, Prince Tobeba doesn't know about this ability, let alone the fact that I can use Nen. This contract is insurance to guarantee the true plan goes smoothly. Sounds quite intricate. He pulls out the truth pendulum. What was it called? Yeah, man, can't remember its ability. The divination pendulum. I don't have time to sift through a mix of fact and fiction. If I figure out you're lying, I'll shoot without hesitation. Isn't your threat more of a waste of time? You can't kill an end user with a 22 caliber. My ability requires me to explain the whole truth first. If all I want is to form a contract between you and the prince, I would only need to tell you the details of the contract itself. You and the prince. Contract itself. But for my true plan, I want to grant you additional power with my ability. And in order to do that, I have to explain everything. So her ability is... I can loan out my ability. Is that Kurobika will have the ability to create contracts, Nen contracts with willing participants. Okay. I will have to explain everything. What's your true plan? What's wrong? Well, I'm not sure how to explain. I should start with what used to be the true plan. I am Beyond Netero's daughter. Dun dun da. Well, I remember when this chapter first dropped. It's like all the complicated stuff happening uh in the entire succession battle, and then Togashi just drops. Oh yeah, the Beyond Knitter is just has children that have infiltrated half of the staff, probably. Uh, Go on. 30 years ago, my father talked some young officers like Kakin, talked some young officers like Kakin into having sham marriages. There are many others with families like mine. The couples raise the children born between the wives and beyond as their own and put them on the Royal Military Academy. I think he did this every time a new prince was born. She thinks that. It's not necessarily a fact we're hearing there. We were set on the path to become royal guards for the princes, and most of us have probably fulfilled this goal. Most of us have probably fulfilled this goal. We had Nin since we were born, after all, and the academy exam itself wasn't difficult unless there were special circumstances. I stumbled upon this secret when I discovered that I didn't inherit a trait I should have from my father. After I found out about the existence of I didn't inherit a trait I should have from my father. After I found out about the existence of my brothers and sisters, I simply figured out my father's purpose was to place his kin into important positions close to the next king. How, how do you know that for a fact that I discovered that I didn't inherit a trait? What kind of traits? I'm not really that big on biology, but is there like specific traits that would be like, oh yeah, if the parent has this, the child would 99% have that? And she was like, yeah, there's almost 0% chance that this wouldn't have transferred to me? That I didn't inherit. Is it just like, my leg is stuck. 1 second. Okay. What kind of traits would definitely transfer? I mean, all stuff like hair, eyes, shape of nose, stuff like that, all of them are kind of circumstantial. Is it like a disorder or disability? Some kind, like, I don't know much about that either, but is there some hereditary disorders that usually transfer to the children, but she didn't get it? Maybe. So his job was to place his kin into close positions to the next king. Okay. So that was your original true plan? Yes, my parents told me when they told me about my real father. So they eventually confessed the reality of the situation, huh? I guess she probably interrogated them, but maybe the other ones don't even know that. Because she figured out the secret, they had to confess the reality of the situation. But maybe the other ones aren't even aware that they're beyond Netero's children. My other half siblings weren't told the details about their birth. I keep predicting the future. I don't know what to do. I just keep predicting the future. I don't know how I do it. About their birth or about each other. Even though I knew until the succession battle, I thought of myself merely as a cocky soldier with unique family circumstances. I lived in a boarding school as far back as I can remember, so I only had a tenuous connection to my parents. Beyond's purpose, of which my parents spoke passionately every time they came to see me. So he's completely infiltrated their minds. He has them working for him. Kind of like a cult. Maybe it's not a cult. Maybe they're genuinely good plans. Who knows? Every time they came to see me, but he does kind of feel like he would run a cult, doesn't he? He feels like the type of person to actually run a cult. Beyond Netero, I mean, specifically. I never but particularly questioned it. I never particularly questioned, since it aligned with the national cause of the world unity under Kakin. But his methods were different. We were used as pawns. As I said, we could use Nen since we were born. Newborns with Nen instinctively learn Ten and Zetsu quickly to prevent fatigue. But they don't learn it good enough to escape Furikov's eyes, huh? I was always among the top of my academy class physically, even without trying. However, that was a side effect of Beyond's Nen attack. Attack? Yes, my father placed a curse on us. I found out when my half-sister, Makaha, became suspicious of her parents. She was supposed to be assigned to Prince Camilla. The second graduating class lost their place. The second graduating class lost their places when Prince Camilla elevated... Oh, the second graduating class lost their places when Prince Camilla elevated the have-nots as her personal guards. So she kicked out everybody from the academy and she took on the people from the have-nots. And she was among them. And she was among them. She felt something was wrong with when her parents didn't mirror her disappointment. Didn't mirror disappointment. So she was among them. She was among them? Among the have-nots? When her parents didn't mirror her disappointment, she investigated in secret and discovered me, also serving under the second queen. Okay. Also serving under the second queen, not prince. Queen... Duazul. After the seed urn ceremony, we noticed a mark in common between us. We showed it to our renowned exorcist and discovered the truth. My parents tried to inspire me with Beyond's goal of unifying the world. How can they be so blessed that I didn't make the cut? Okay, so she wasn't part of the guards, not part of the have-nots. Okay. But they were okay. They didn't bother. Serving under the second queen. So she was serving under the second queen because the guards, yeah, that they're training for the Camilla should be overseen by the queen. That is their mother of the prince. Okay. And by extension, what's her name? Longi would also be under the second queen because Tobeba is the daughter of Duazul as well. Okay. How can they be so blasé that I didn't make the cut? What's blasé? Blasé. Blasé. Yeah, I said it right. Blasé. I gave it some of that French accent. Blasé. Because of the accent mark. I was right. Anyway. He told us a powerful and sinister Nen possessed us that will activate upon our death. Take a good look with Gyo. And she shows him the curse under her tongue. He told me I was a strong curse sacrifice. I was chosen to curse my target to death. A strong curse sacrifice. I was chosen to curse my target to death. There are at least 10 of us who are strong, including me and Makaha. If there are as many or more weak ones who weren't selected, Then my father must have prepared a large number of bonds because he couldn't be sure of the final count of princes. So yeah, that kind of contradicts her guess of. I think he did this every time a new prince was born, but it kind of aligns that maybe he did a few extra, or that he was doing it initially once per prince and then he changed to multiple, or a whole bunch. Hmm. Large number of bonds because he couldn't be sure of the final count of princes. We were assured it wasn't something that could be removed simply by burning off the surface or even cutting it off. A powerful curse, the likes of which he had never seen. Our bodies were turned into tools of Beyond's plan. Cursed sacrifices cursed sacrifices incarnate on his behalf. We don't know what kind of ability it is or what the targets are, but they are undoubtedly aimed to make sure our targets are cursed to death. Kurapika, if this goes on too long, people will get suspicious. Yeah, because she's telling them her entire backstory. Meanwhile, everyone else is just waiting for their turn to learn in outside. But we need to hear all of it, or else we can't form a contract with Prince Tubeba. Since Beyond didn't make any moves after Makaha failed to join Prince Camilla's entourage, we don't think our targets are simply the princes we were assigned to. That means we might not have needed to be in the entourage or even in the military at all. Even our life goals were used for our father's scheme. So that's what she feels like. She feels like even the ambitions that were put in front of her to the path that was paved before her was all fake. It was all made for her. It wasn't something she herself actually wants now that she knows the full details. That it was all just for nothing, that they didn't need to go and get into this kind of situation, huh? Okay, you don't know who your target is, but you're sure it's a prince. Yes, it's only speculation, but I'm sure of it. There are more than 10 strong cursed sacrifices and 14 princes. It can't be a coincidence. We don't know who's going to kill which prince, but Beyond is trying to influence the succession battle. I'm surprised the queen is not freaking out. Last time we've seen the queen, Oito, she heard about somebody maybe being a threat to her. She was immediately like, shoot them right now! She's learned to be a bit more careful and not jump to conclusions immediately. Going to kill which prince, but Beyond is trying to influence the succession battle. If he didn't tell the sacrifices, that means either Beyond knows how to activate the curse, or he's leaving it to fate as a condition that increases its power. Maybe it's just whoever is closest at the time the curse will transfer to. Is what Bill is asking, proposing. Probably the latter. Beyond is in Kakin's innermost circles, so it's likely he just wants the eldest, Prince Benjamin, to take the throne. Sacrificing a life is necessary for a powerful curse. If they give Prince Benjamin such a hint in order to ensure he survives as successor, then Prince Benjamin can use this special martial law with the military at his back as a last resort. No, I don't think it's Prince Benjamin. My father is well prepared, cunning, and greedy, and with this much preparation time, It's inconceivable that he would make all this effort for someone unrelated to him. Then what? Wait, you mean? Yes. One of the princes is beyond child. That's what I think. But is that really possible? Queen Oito, what's the requirement for a prince to participate in this succession? Because yeah, the requirements might legitimately just rebuff non-valid candidates. They might outright be cursed or not get an N beast maybe if they're not properly qualified. To be qualified, they must be born into Nasbi Hyogoro's lawful wife. It's true that there is technically no mention of parental lineage, but I mean it couldn't be. Kurabika, is anything wrong? You're taking so long that everyone's worried. We're fine. Negotiations are taking a while because we can't agree on the terms of the truce. We'll explain it fully afterwards and clear up any doubts you might have. Please have patience. Please have patience. There's no outright change in Kurabika's aura, but surely they've realized she can use Nin and she's the assassin. What could they be talking about? Yeah, Fyurkov is still on that silent majority train. He thinks it's silent majority. Longi is silent majority. Closes the door, pulls the gun back up. She already told you, bro, it doesn't work on a Nin user. Okay, please continue. The contract with Prince Tubiba is a truce with Prince Wobble and Queen Oito. So she realized that we don't have much time, we need to hurry this up. It's a truce with Prince Wobble and Queen Oito. Neither side will interfere with nor attack either Prince, Queen, or their guards. This will last until 9 AM next Sunday, at which time the contract will automatically renew for another week, provided that a representative from Prince Tubiba is present in room 14. Will automatically renew for another week, provided that a representative from Prince Tubiba is present in room 14. What does a representative mean? I'm thinking of a way to use this ability where, oh, Prince Tubiba's representative wasn't here this week. That means that the contract is null now. And Kurabika would be under the impression that it is null. But what if maybe somebody that is on Tubiba's side was in the room, they just weren't known to be by Kurabika, that they do serve and represent Prince Tubiba. It's probably never going to happen, but that's kind of a mischievous way to use it. And then just let the enemy attack, let Kurabika maybe accidentally attack or think he's safe to attack somebody that does serve Tubiba that he maybe doesn't even know is Prince Tubiba's servant. That way he's breaking the contract and he doesn't even know that he's breaking the contract and he thinks he's safe. Damn. My ability will activate only if your side violates the term. The penalty will be a week of forced Zetsu. A week of forced Zetsu is quite powerful. The definition of attack is vague. Healing or other acts of support could be counted as an Nin attack. Then so would my ability itself. We won't unilaterally terminate the contract, so long as we don't uncover a malicious act perpetrated by your side against us. So it's specifically a malicious attack. And I would never arbitrarily ascribe malicious intent to your actions. And she's under the whole thing. Yeah, the pendulum. The truth pendulum. My additional stipulation is to identify Beyond's child before either Prince Tubiba withdraws or only two princes remain. So if Kurabika can figure out if there is a Beyond Netero child or not among the princes, definitively, before Tobeba retires or before. Um, does it work only if Longi is just convinced that Kurabika has done this, or does it have to be actually the truth? What if Kurabika just convinced her? Where's the audio? Oh, I have my audio cranked in voice meter. That's why it was so loud. So yeah, what if Corby? My additional stipulation is to identify Beyond's child before either Prince Tobiba withdraws or only two princes remain. If it turns out that the criteria I set are not applicable to any of the princes, the condition will be met in your favor, and my ability will immediately activate, granting you reward. Granting you your reward. My additional stipulation will expire at the same time Prince Tobiba cancels the truce. If you are willing to continue the investigation, I promise to write a new contract between us and compensate you in the same fashion. So she's currently writing a contract of truce between her and between Tobiba generally and Kurabika generally. The two parties. But if it does break down, she's willing to renew the contract and give him another shot. Okay. You will be granted a one-time use of my ability. Not bad. It's limited and depends on the person, but still, Force Zetsu can be applied with much easier conditions and much less risk when compared to my ability. Yeah, he has to like put a nin dagger in a person's heart, and it only works on a spider. So that ability is completely useless if the target is not a member of the spiders. So he can't really use it on anybody, almost, on this boat, or in this entire succession battle. The chain hasn't moved, she hasn't lied. I want you to make your decision after hearing this last part. My current true plan. I'm just surprised that Longi is willing to put so much trust in Korobika and tell him all this information. How come she's willing to tell all this information? To Korobika, who is just someone she barely knows for like a week in nin classes. Maybe because she was there for a week, she recognized the type of person he is. Maybe. If my father's child is among the princes as I expected, I will kill them myself. Damn. If only my father had told me everything, even if my role had been the same, I would have never made this decision. Yeah, she's hurt by specifically the manipulation. The fact that she was being used as a pawn and not just being told the truth. Like, she would have been willingly acting out her role if it weren't for manipulation and deception. People really don't like to be manipulated. Even if the outcome is not necessarily bad, people just don't like being lied to and taken advantage of. It's just a vulnerability that people feel like, oh, someone is taking control of my vulnerabilities, and they don't want that. They feel so powerless when that happens. I'm speaking generally, not just in Hunter x Hunter, about humankind in general. People just don't like to get manipulated. It's such a... people feel like they've lost control of everything and lash out when you start controlling them with these deceiving behaviors. Hmm. Okay, they finish the contract and she pretends to have been initiated to Nen. No evidence they fought physically. Their auras are too tranquil for a Nen battle, so they negotiated. There was nothing unnatural when Korobeka came out to explain, but was she crying? What the heck happened? Doesn't look like she was crying, at least not on beige. But he can tell that she was in distress. Bro is really perceptive, huh? And he still can't detect silent majority's user. Hmm. I feel something slightly different from before in Kurabika's aura, but it's so faint that I can't tell if it's just a subtle change in himself or Longi's Nen. If it was Longi's attack, it could be something remote that involves multiple steps or something invincible uh, that brings out absolute power under certain conditions. I can't narrow it down enough. Those multiple steps of something invincible that brings out absolute power under certain conditions? Yeah. I'm a bit confused about the wording here. Okay, but it could be difficult to fill the conditions for both Bill and Kurabika at the same time. Plus, that would make my deductive inference that Longi was the assassin a mistake. Did she negotiate with a sob story without Nen? There's not enough evidence for any of this. I don't even know if I should pursue it. These people sure don't make it easy. Sorry to keep you waiting. We were discussing the truth with Prince to Biba. In short, we're both positive towards the agreement, but we can't agree on the details. He's lying. They already signed the contract. Our options also differed on how much we're willing to share with you all. Okay. Yeah, right, this is an act to balance out the interests of the third prince and fifth princess. Okay. Lastly, 10th Tori, it's your turn. We can talk about this matter afterwards. Or they can just tell 10th Tori in there. Nen 101, behind closed doors, Prince Wobble is safe as long as the system functions. I could expose their conspiracy and demand a suspension of class or disclosure of information, but I have little evidence. I won't be able to take them to trial and will just end up strengthening their solidarity. Yeah, he becomes the enemy that is disrupting the peace and taking away people's ability to learn Nen. So they're more likely to collude against him, so that they can keep learning Nen from Kurabika and ignore the disruption that he's creating. I'm starting to think we should ask for a change in assignment, don't you think? Something wrong? And we get the white panel from Baba Mina. No, nothing. Which is the whole crux of why everybody thinks he is probably one of the cursed children of Beyond. No, nothing. Can you get me a new book? There aren't any others. Read it again or write your own novel. Good idea. Get me a pen and paper. Also, by the way, Netero's Beyond is looking disheveled as heck. Is he reading Journey to the New World? Is that what he's reading? I can't tell exactly if it is or not. Good idea. Get me a pen and paper. No, for security reasons. You got your beard and your own blood. Security reasons? If I wanted to, I could knock your head off with this book. Got it. Super scary. Got any other requests? Don't hold back. Asking is free. You're a funny one. There's somebody I'd like to talk to. Can you arrange a meeting? I forgot about this. We still haven't seen who Beyond is talking to. 2 p.m. Which is, we got 2 p.m. Okay, it's at the end of Kurobika's Nen lesson. Day 10, he wants to talk to somebody. Is it Barristan? Is it First Queen for some reason? I don't know who's he talking to. Is it Duazul? He does. We learned that Duazul was no, Longi was working for Duazul, or she was trained under the supervision of Duazul, as long as also Makaha, as well as Makaha, which is Longi's sister from beyond. Maybe he'll meet with Duazul, is my guess. I don't know why, I feel like he might be meeting with the first queen. Queen Onma. Just my guess. Based on absolutely nothing. Okay, that was just one chapter, huh? Chapter 402. Letter. Room number 3. Third Prince Zhang, if you fifth prince to Bibba and 14th Prince Wobble are the last 3 remaining, the 5th and 14th Prince will renounce the throne in support of you. I see, Prince Wobble perhaps, but I didn't expect Prince to Bibba to agree. She doesn't. And they agreed to put it in writing. Yes, in return, Prince Wobble is asking that Sakata and Hashito extend their support indefinitely. In return, Prince Wobble is asking that Sakata and Hashito extend their support indefinitely. So Kurabika entered into the truce and agreed to our alliance. So she's being just told about the alliance, not knowing about the whole Nin conditions as well. And after that, Kurabika forged another contract with Third Prince's guard, 10th Tori, this guy. This guy with the hamburger on his head. So he forged a contract with him, telling him that they're willing. I'm guessing that between Kurabika and Longi, that's a Nin contract, but between Kurabika and Zhang and Longi and Tobibo, that's just verbal. That might not be considered part of the Nin contract that Longi created. Or maybe he did negotiate to extend the Nin contract between him and Third Prince Zhang. Okay. But I didn't expect Prince Tobiba to agree, but they agreed to put it in writing. Yes, in return to... so Kurabika entered into the truce and agreed to our alliance, yes. On the condition that both the Queen and the Prince accompany him when he comes here to room number 5. The Third Prince's guards also demand to attend in the interest of information sharing. Bro is... Bro, the Queen and the Prince are literally overshadowed by Kurabika. He's the one leading them around, telling the people are just dealing with Kurabika, and the Prince and the Queen are just standing by next to him. Room number 14 is basically just Kurabika at this point. They don't even consider the Queen and the Prince Swabble. Third Prince's guard also demand to attend in the interest of information sharing. They're more than welcome. I wouldn't even mind if Prince Wobble came to live here. They're colluding with Prince Wobble, or rather Kurabika. Even this guy. Like, I need to forget about Prince Wobble. Kurabika is the real threat. He's the real mastermind behind Room 14. Your reward, your second, I believe. Once you reach a certain number, you shall be rewarded even further. He's lying out of his ass. He has no idea what the coins do. Yes, sir, my humble pleasure. If you carry it with you at all times, it will surely bring you good fortune. A semi-surrender is a step forward, though I have my doubts whether renunciation renunciation would even be valid in this succession. Well, it depends on your definition, probably. But this coin, I thought something would happen after 10 days, but it seems it has no effect if I'm the one holding onto it. It seems it has no effect if I'm the one holding onto it. Fourth Prince Tsuraidnik didn't come to the banquet after all. So collaborating with me isn't important to him. Now that First Prince Benjamin's guards are coming after me, I can't be choosy. Nothing would be better than this back turning Benjamin's focus upon Zhang Lei. At the next class, as much as you can, impress upon the First Prince's guard how close we are to Prince Zhang Lei. Oh, and the Nin Beast has finally shown itself to Myuhan for the first time. Tubiba's Nin Beast appeared right after the signing of the Beast Treaty. Okay, as soon as... excuse me. As soon as the treaty was finalized by telling Tubiba about it, the Beast appeared. So it wasn't afraid of Myuhan. It just wasn't appearing because it didn't have a research partner. And so it has been immediately... it's been confirmed that Kurapika is Tubiba's partner now. Okay. After signing the Beast Treaty, it could be a coincidence, but if this timing has any meaning, it must be conditional. So this guy has now got more intel about Tubiba's Nin Beast, and he's figured out that it's connected to Kurapika's contract with Tubiba, possibly. That can't be good for Tubiba. Is that how she gets taken out? She wants to shift the attention to Third Prince Zhang Lei. But does that work? Like, Benjamin has sent all his soldiers, and they're all actively working against every prince. But I guess, yeah, if they consider Third Prince to be a higher priority, they might send Myuhan after him to figure out all the coins and stuff. All the conditions of that ability, if they consider him a real threat. But even Third Prince Zhang Lei himself doesn't consider himself to be a threat. He's like, oh yeah, I'll deal with this. He's way too focused on the future that he isn't thinking of what to do right now. We haven't seen much. Actually, we have seen him colluding with what's his name? He was colluding with the mafia, because the mafia boss is his father, and he was going to start using them to maybe take out the other princes. But how would they do that? Do they have access to first tier 1? First tier? How is he gonna use the mafia when he's on tier 1? I'm not sure. That's... Anyway. We cut back to Balsamilko, who's preparing his venom. He's preparing his poison for Hulkenberg. So basically they've taken Hulkenberg to court, and they're going to pretend to be prosecuting him. Going after him legally, but they're actually going to use chemical weapons instead. Our military created numerous weapons of mass destruction. This one was considered a failure when flaws were found during its development, but it's the perfect silent killer under the right circumstances. So it's failure to be used generally, but it can be still utilized in specific situations, is what he's saying. Under the right circumstances, the initial symptoms resemble the stomach flu, and the timing and vectors of infection can be easily obscured. We can use existing infection prevention protocols to limit collateral damage. Existing infection prevention protocol limit collateral damage. I'm surprised they're even thinking of limiting the collateral damage and not just sending it and eating it like any responsible military would do. And not caring about the consequences it has on the general public. The surface proteins are fragile and unstable. Denaturing in less than 30 seconds? I have no idea what that means. In the air, but once in the human body, the pathogens proliferate rapidly, leading to death in 12 hours from multiple organ failure. It even hastens decay and is subtly outcompeted by. It hastens decay and is subsequently outcompeted by butyrate-active bacteria. So, outcompeted as in it's taken out by bacteria, leaving no trace in the autopsy. Yeah. So, the bacteria will eat the whatever thing this is. It's perfect. They call it the surface proteins. They don't specifically say what it is, but I guess the bacteria can eat it and leave no trace by the time they do an autopsy. In a room without circulating air, anyone who breathes it in at the epicenter will have a 100% infection and death rate. It multiplies quickly, so we've been limiting its use due to the high risk of spontaneous mutations. But in this case, it necessitates deployment. Spontaneous mutation. So they don't know if it can mutate suddenly and they break loose and become more resistant and become basically like influenza and infect everybody. Which could be miserable for their country. Okay, Bob. I will use this to delete 9th Prince Hulkenberg. Damn. Okay, so he had the entire cartridge of all of them. It's something. It keeps changing size and perspective. In this perspective, it looks extremely tiny. Here, it looks way bigger. But then he takes out the vial and he. Is that just the dispense mechanism? This part. But this is like the actual containers. He doesn't need to have these in his boot, I assume. He's not just carrying them around all the time. But maybe he is. Maybe that's how he sneaked it on board without anybody catching him. But he's the military. It's not hard for him to smuggle this kind of stuff. Okay. It doesn't even matter. I will use this to delete 9th Prince Hulkenberg. How many seconds? It's 9.6. It's 9.6. Seconds. Oh, finally, less than 10. This'll take a while. Try again in 10 seconds. Finally? And while multitasking? Day 11, Wednesday, 8 AM. Did we get a timeline for... No, we don't know when Hulkenberg is doing what he's doing. Balsamilko, I mean. Is acting. It took me a whole year to get to that point, and I've known Zetsu since birth. You're just gonna drop that? You know Zetsu since birth? I thought the 10 second barrier was supposed to be hard to overcome. Hmm. Finally, less than 10 seconds. What took 6 months for me takes a single day for Tseri. He's in a league of his own. You're doing great, your speed is remarkable. Considering his temperament, this monster would use Nen or politics only for his own self-interest. Theta is right, something has to be done, but according to her, Tsuri activated some kind of ability during Zetsu, even among specialists. He's breaking all the rules. Zetsu must be the trigger for the Nen beast to activate all the aura. It's been storing up. But I can't eliminate the possibility that Theta was manipulated by his guardian spirit beast when she was attacked and isn't a reliable source of truth. I haven't seen the Prince's Nen beast yet, after all. Okay, Your Highness, so it only appears to women? Or is he talking about the conjured Nen beast, the one that he made himself? Your Highness, regarding the hunter called Melody, I can't do much until I have more information. The Justice Department suspects her involvement, meaning she's still detained. Also, Prince Benjamin must have the same idea as his soldiers haven't left the area. Just don't let Bird Brain get to her first. Keep asking to see her, find out what she's thinking, and win her over. His Zetsu is uninterrupted while running, gaming, and carrying on a conversation. You'd need to train for years to do that kind of thing. Hell, I can't do that. Stop, don't think about it. I'm going to lose faith in myself just from hanging around this guy. Hats off to you, Theta. Okay, he does say that he knows Nen from birth, which is weird. But he is from the Hunter Association, isn't he? He's not part of the whole Kakin Empire thing. So he must not be involved from beyond, or that's what they'd like you to think. I don't know. And okay. We get... I saw this when she was changing. It's like a bug bite. She didn't have this before our escape. It looks like it could be an injection site too. A bug bite. Which again puts that guy, that Benjamin assassin back on the shopping block. A bug bite, huh? I mean, Loserus's beast looks like a bug. He could have made it. The have-nots, maybe not. I think they're not involved with the whole bugs that are flying around Fugetsu. I think they're the other things that were clinging onto her. But now we have the assassin, Benjamin's assassin, uses like the whole mosquito thing. And the princes themselves can't see Nin. So she must have been not taken out. What's the word? Stung by his ability, possibly. It could be an injection site too. That's not possible. We were back to our room and they brought us here right after that. Day 11, Wednesday. And that's the same as the day that he's training. 8 a.m. and they're at 6 a.m. 2 hours even before that happens. Okay. I know, it's most likely a mark made by Nin. Mark? Some Nin powers involve a multi-step process. Prince Fugetsu probably fell into a trap and got marked. Didn't she say something weird yesterday? Yeah, the whole I can use magic worm many times in one day. She's just being infected because she got what she wants, so she fell into the trap. She got baited by the whole ability activating multiple times. So you're saying an enemy ability is the reason why she thinks she can use it more than once a day? Get her get her to use her ability. There should be two doors. One is a trap. Show it to her and persuade her not to use it anymore. That's a bit too much to be certain about Melody. It's like, how did you know specifically that there would be two doors? Persuade? Once she knows it's not hers, she'd stop, right? I hope so. She's showing signs that she might be addicted. You mean she was injected with some sort of drug? That's terrible. I can't think of any other reason for such a drastic change over a short time. That really reflects Loser's kind of being. He's constantly using drugs and he befriends drug addicts. So maybe it is really his ability and not the assassin from First Prince. At first, I thought one of the princes who came here to see me was using her to negotiate, but that wasn't the case. If she keeps using the enemy's ability, she'll keep getting weaker and won't last until next weekend. This must be an ability that indiscriminately attacks whoever gets trapped. What should I do? Find out who's doing this and get them to stop. It'll be difficult to find them without any clues. Someone does come to mind though. She immediately thinks of Losers. The drugs? Immediately associates it with him. Oh. Seventh Prince Losers? Yeah, he manages the mafia and deals drugs to raise funds. I see. Suddenly Kaiser is in the conversation. I see. I bet it's his guardian spirit beast. Even if that were true, he is not consciously making the attack. So it would be impossible to persuade him to stop. So because he's not actively doing it, it might not be possible for him to tell his beast to stop. They might not listen to him. So the only way to stop it is to defeat the prince or the Nin beast itself. We have to take action right away. So their thought process is, we have to take him out. If we take him out, the Nin beast will also disappear because it feeds off of Prince Loser's Nin, and thus the curse will disappear. I mean, it's not specifically. That's not necessarily always the case, right? Like some attacks could persist even after death, if they're malicious enough, or the effect of the Nin itself might not be tied to Prince Losers anymore. It might be the trap itself could be feeding off of Fugetsu's Nin itself. Thus, if you take out Losers and the beast, the trap itself is self-sustaining off of Fugetsu's Nin and won't disappear. So it would be more important to find an exorcist, I would say. No? Anyway. Where was I? To persuade him. So the only way to stop is to... We have to take action right away. I know how you feel, but we can't rush in blindly. We need a super surefire plan. I have just the plan. Getty had been testing what she can do with her ability. I don't know if there's a barrier around the ship itself, but the door didn't open when she imagined a place off of the ship. Okay, so she tested if she can leave the ship and it didn't appear. The door, or the door didn't open. Okay. But it did connect to the room where the lifeboats are kept. Oh, when they tried to escape, it didn't work, but okay. But it did connect to the room where the lifeboats are kept, and she got inside the lead one. So we can go there again at any time, but there are things we haven't been able to test yet. And that's whether other people besides you can go inside. Yes, I think it'll work. So they're worried that there is a condition that only she and Fugetsu uh, might be able to travel by this ability. Okay. On the way out, the door closes when Getty goes in, and and on the way back, it closes the moment I get inside the tunnel. On the way out, the door closes when Getty goes in, and on the way back, it closes the moment I get into the tunnel. So it's connected to them, but it's not. But in between them, when Getty goes in. Okay, so we have to send losers before Fugetsu enters the door, and Kachu can be the last one to walk out of the closing door. Okay. We made a butler play with us when we were kids. Okay, so I'm pretty sure other people can go in before us. I want to try this out with you, Melody. Kachu, you'll need more people for your plan. Someone who can carry Prince Losers to a lifeboat while he's knocked out with my flute. Yeah, she wouldn't be able to carry him herself, maybe? I mean, she is a Nin beast. She's enhanced with Nin. Maybe she can do it. Who knows? Ideally, we would have Prince Losers agree to an escape plan and get on a lifeboat voluntarily, but I don't think he's that stupid. Your ability would make sure it happens. Even better would be if we could poison or strangle him on the spot. No, it would be much better to make it look like an accident. I'll be the mule. Have it done while you're getting questioned to establish your alibi. Have it done while you're getting questioned to establish your alibi. Okay. Prince Losers' guards would claim to be deceived by your music, but that's not a problem. There will be traces of drugs in their urine and hair, so we can say they're lying to cover up for their hallucination. Them to be deceived by your music, but that's not a problem. And they're using the legal system against them. Oh yeah, you guys are on drugs. You're hallucinating. You don't know what happened. We can't take your testimony seriously. The prince overdosed spontaneously, tried to escape, and had a heart attack. Sounds plausible. God damn. Well, sounds like a fine plan, but it's so absurd that, oh yeah, these are the protagonists of the story. Melody, who's on Kurapika's side, yeah. Obviously, they're the protagonists. They're planning to fake an overdose to get someone killed. Sounds like a fine plan, but there is one major problem. Where will you connect the door? Prince Losers' room. Fugetsu will need to go there first, right? Yes. I don't get it. Can you explain? Fugetsu needs to have actually been to a place to use her ability, to use her door to go there again. In this case, this bedroom. His bedroom. Alright, I can take care of that. Come up with a reason why Prince Fugetsu has to personally meet with each prince. We'd accompany her so there's no danger of assassination. Each prince, not just Prince Losers, it would be best to maximize the places she can go to, right? It'll cover our tracks and come in useful later. Not only does he want Fugetsu in Losers' room, he wants to take her to every other room. So they can have even more options later. Damn. Yeah, that would be convenient. Okay, how does this sound? And they make up an excuse. Not bad. Everyone would be interested in a letter containing Prince Kachu's last message, and as long as we guarantee their safety, it's likely they'll accept. For security reasons, showing up at their quarters unannounced isn't unnatural. It's not sure they let a lower ranked prince inside and accept it personally. I'm sure Prince Losers has a lot of stuff he'd rather not show you. That will depend on my negotiation skills. Worst case, I could force an excuse to search his quarters. Warn Prince Fugetsu. Dang. He's willing to go uh, something and beyond. What's the phrase? Over and beyond? Yeah. He's willing to go over and beyond all for to satisfy or to help out Kacho and Melody. And they're both like, "You're really willing to do all of this for us?" They're kind of questioningly looking at him. So, I told you how I feel already, right? Yes, I'm well aware. Let me just make sure. There's no turning back after this. Are you sure you want to risk everything? Of course, I'm not just doing this out of my feelings for you. It's because I think it would be best for Prince Fugetsu to take the throne and change the whole system. Having Prince Kacho by her side would protect her from her mother's meddling as well. I don't detect any change in his heartbeat. If I can't figure out his true intent, I'll have to assume he's on the enemy's side. At least he, or the one who's manipulating him, still considers us useful. I didn't join the Justice Department to blindly uphold the law. It's to get the world closer to my ideal, gentler world. I can do the dirty work to make that happen, even if I lose the right to join that gentler world. I have to maintain this relationship for now, in order to protect Prince Fugetsu. Hmm. Okay, immediately they commence the plan. And they also bring Steiner with them. And one of Steiner's friends that we've seen once before. Hmm. Chief, we'd like an audience with the first prince. May I ask why? We'd like to personally hand him a letter from 10th Prince Kacho. Prince Kacho has passed away, but she wrote letters to all the princes while she was alive. She left instructions to personally hand out letters to each prince if she died. We can guarantee that there is no danger of explosives or toxins. We would like permission for Prince Fugetsu to hand the letter to First Prince under our supervision. I can take it to him. It could be an official proclamation about the succession. Defying a dead prince's wishes could lead to disqualification. Could be an official proclamation about the succession. Defying a dead prince's wishes could lead to disqualifications. That's crazy. That's crazy that you'd even entertain such an idea. Yeah, if a dead prince's wishes could be still upheld, that would be that could be used very maliciously. But I guess they're driving a hard bargain. I guess they had to like validate with the first prince. Please contact the prince. Let them through. There's one point of concern. What? Oh yeah, because she's cursed. My god, she's on her last legs. Thank you so much for your audience. May I step over there? Of course. He's experienced and he can tell that she's cursed. But wait a second. Melody couldn't see anything. So these curses, nobody can see them, right? Even if you're using Nin. Wait, he can't see them, so why didn't Melody see them? That's confusing. He does say that they fled. I guess they fled before before Melody could see them, maybe? They fled their low-level evil spirits that plague someone in a weakened state. They're not 11th Prince Fugetsu's guardian spirit. Oh, okay. If Benjamin doesn't recognize anything about her, but they fled specifically because of Prince Benjamin's beast screaming at them. It nullified them. The moment she stepped closer to Benjamin. But Melody doesn't have a nen beast of her own that would nullify them. So why didn't Melody see them? I don't understand. It's so confusing. Is it only the princess can see these curses? For some reason? But that's the opposite of the nen beasts. The nen beasts can specifically not be seen by the princes. And only the princes. Man, Hunter x Hunter is so confusing. I don't understand anything. Why didn't Melody see these monsters or these curses? They're weak. They're low-level evil spirits. And he doesn't recognize the ability of his personnel because he needs to know the abilities to once he inherits them. So he needs to be familiar with all these skills, nen skills that his subordinates are using. So he wouldn't not recognize his own work, his own subordinates' work. So it can't be whatever his name is that I keep forgetting. It could be the have-nots. This is getting more. Well, So Benjamin's beast could nullify them, but Prince Fugetsu's beast isn't nullifying them. It is strictly a supporting nen beast that allows her to teleport and does not protect her. Doesn't. Okay. It could still be Luzerus's attack or the have-nots, but it's definitely not the third option, which is Benjamin's soldiers' attack. They're not 11th Prince Fugetsu's guardian spirit beast or a scheme. She is despondent after her sister's death. She won't last 10 days. I accept. Shall I open it now? By all means, I will act as a witness if there's any information pertaining to the succession. By all means. I'll act as a witness if there's any information pertaining to the succession. An ordinary letter. Nothing political or worth showing you. You still can't find Musa? No, considering the timing when you closed off the passageway, we've focused our search on Tier 1 but haven't found him. We could invoke our authority to conduct a search of all Prince's quarters. There would be no point. He doesn't want to get searched? There would be no point. You know there is currently a dispute in court over which has priority. Royal privileges or the military's authority. Dispute. Royal privileges or the military's authority. Okay. This doesn't qualify as a national threat to begin with, which is the prerequisite to declaring martial law. And he slips up here, right? I remember this part. True, I'm glad he falls for leading questions. He got leaded by... he got accidentally leaked his thought process in front of Kaiser. Because he doesn't... he's too hot-headed. He's constantly thinking of how he can abuse his power. And this time he misspoke. Authority has many levels, and the point of contention in court here is about military crisis in which someone in the military is the victim. The case does indeed apply. Yeah, because Musa is the guy who disappeared. He is part of the military. But Benjamin instead brought up martial law, which indicates a higher level crisis of national survival. Yeah, this is like basically a domestic case almost, but it does involve the military because the victim is a military member, the Musa, one of Benjamin's guards. But Benjamin accidentally let slip that this is not prerequisite for declaring martial law. It's not, which indicates that he was considering how best he can enact martial law. So now Kaiser knows. Like we've always known about Benjamin's thought process because we've been with the character. But Kaiser isn't. He isn't privy to that information like we are. But now he does know. It's clear he's waiting for an opportunity to implement martial law. He's probably racking his brain while pretending to remain calm over the contents of the letter. He hasn't even noticed he misspoke. Yeah, because he's intently reading the letter. He's running on autopilot. He's letting his brain automatically just respond to whatever Kaiser is saying. And he didn't realize that he slipped some information that he shouldn't have. Okay, I was right to do this while Balsamilko was away. Seeing how the other princes react will be very educational. Well, I'm thankful that you declare my quarters to be clean in exchange for this. Okay, they go meet Beba, they meet Tyson. Declare my quarters to be clean. This is number 7. Losers. Clean in exchange for this. Okay. Thank you for your cooperation. A major part of our duty is to ensure smooth negotiations between princes involved in succession. So they had to bribe him to actually let them in the room. They're like, hey, let us in and we'll say that your room is clean, that we didn't find any drugs. Sorry about your sister. Thank you for your kind words. It's your sister too. Why is he saying sorry about your sister? I guess he recognizes that she's more of a sister to her because they're twins. Wow, what a parting shot. Fukitsu, did Sis ever tell you anything about the letters? Or if all the letters are the same? No, she never had a chance to tell me. I guess she didn't want you to get involved. It has nothing to do with the succession, but Mr. Bigwig should take a look at this. Allow me. I told Prince Kacho what to write, of course. So he already knows what's inside the letter. Let's shake up the princes while we're at it. How? Our independent investigations have gathered inside information on other princes, the purpose of which is to maintain and defend our neutrality. The purpose of which is to maintain and defend our neutrality, a deterrent. They might as well be literal bombshells. Let's use them here to our advantage. Our independent. Oh, he's talking about his bureau. That they have incriminating evidence against the princes, huh? The purpose of which is to maintain and defend our neutrality, a deterrent. Okay, so that nobody can take control of the bureau or blackmail them. They can blackmail the royalty instead. Okay, they might as well be literal bombshells. Let's use them here to our advantage. I see, but how would Kacho know any of that? They'll be desperate to discover the source of the leak, that's for sure. So that's part of the plan, is that, oh yeah, how would she know? Exactly, how would she know? And that would light a fire under their asses. I'll be there to deflect questions that dig too deep into Prince Cacho. I didn't intend for her to return to tier 1 where it's dangerous until the succession is over. Hmm. I didn't expect Lazarus to hand me the letter. I didn't expect Lazarus to hand me the letter. He may be more careful and skeptical than I thought. Whistleblowing on Prince Sridnik? These are all merely rumors. It says Prince Sridnik is the one I wouldn't want on the throne. Okay, it could be a defamation campaign as a ploy to get you guys to dig up the real dirt. Believe me, there'll be plenty to find. Not like I can talk. Get you guys to dig up the real dirt. Like I can talk. Something's weird. Her last message wasn't to ask to protect her sister, but is instead filled with bombshells about the other princes. The older sister was pretty smart. Each letter has got to be different. Get the snakes, me and four, to duke it out, while she milks the tears on Benjamin to secure her sister's protection. That means it's dangerous to act carelessly. I should bide my time. So his estimation is every what's it called? Every letter is different and is meant to manipulate each party to possibly fight with another party, to maybe manipulate them into action. But then for Prince Benjamin's letter, that it should be a letter that just asks to protect Prince Fugetsu. I have no idea whether any of them are true, and I don't care to find out. You can keep the letter. Let them think I don't trust the letter and have them handle it. Gotta keep the balance. So he is involved with the whole balance thing. I guess both him and Prince Zangley. Yo, Chloe. Hello. How's it going? You're lurking while eating. Yep, no problem. Enjoy your meal. What you eating? It worked. If you're tired, we could postpone the rest. I'm fine. I'll do whatever I can. Yeah, and they suddenly disappeared again. Oh, Prince Fukitsu, a moment. I'm Bacho, Melody's colleague. Yeah, this guy. This guy gives her the charm. Oh, nice to meet you. I don't want to overstep, but you just seem really tired. The Nen activates by inclusion of words of invocation, light, for healing or purification. Seasonal words further raise effectiveness. Good luck, Sean. Keep it on you. Wow, thank you so much. This will ward off the evil spirits for a while. She's still in danger as long as she remains untreated. Melody, it's up to you. Basta. Nothing too fancy. Oh, pasta in itself is fancy. It's delicious. Well, I've actually started cooking recently, and I've been making a few pasta dishes. I never knew how good pasta can actually be until I actually learned how to cook it myself. So I've been cooking a few types of pastas. I mean, I guess I've always been a fan of ramen, so it's how different could it be? Noodles, ramen. No, it's quite different. Actually, speaking of pasta, I've literally last night I made my own what was it called? Noodles, not soba, udon. I googled how to make udon noodles. And actually made a few batches. I haven't eaten them yet. I'm gonna eat them tonight. But I just made them yesterday already. Hopefully they turn out good. I'm gonna try to make a stir fry. Maybe. We'll see how it turns out. Anyway, back to it. Kaiser seems to be thankful to Kacho, huh? for the Nen charm. It's delicious, yeah, you should try it. I haven't made my own before, so I don't know if homemade is gonna be good. But I've had udon before. In case Prince Losers wasn't the one behind this, we should do it as soon as possible, as soon as Getty awake. Do the question while she's getting treated in sickbay. Place guards in front of the room, and the alibi will be perfect. I read that, but I did not internalize a single word. Sorry about the mic. Let me try that again. In case Prince Losers wasn't the one behind this, okay, they want to take out Prince Losers ASAP, just in case he wasn't actually the one. But they don't care that, oh, if he wasn't the one, maybe you're killing an innocent person. I mean, as innocent as a prince that's involved with the mafia could be. He's not really that innocent, I guess. They shouldn't have that much of a consciousness, an issue in their consciousness about it. Do the questioning while she's getting treated in sickbay. Place guards in front of the room, and the alibi will be perfect. Yeah, because she will teleport out. Okay. Right, Basho gave us some time, but we still haven't narrowed down anybody down. I'll use my... Okay, so in literally a few hours, they were already done. 11th day, 8:50 a.m. They were only debating that at 6 a.m. Let me go back. Yeah, 6 a.m., day 11. So already in the span of like 2-3 hours, they were already done meeting all the princes. That was quick. Yeah, they organized this entire thing that quickly. And acted on it on top of that. Damn. Okay. I'll use my ocarina for logistical reasons, but I still won't be able to do anything while I'm playing. No problem, if the tunnel is about 10 meters long, I can carry him myself. That rumbling happened right above us. Besides us, only Prince Halkenberg is here in Tier 2. That ability must belong to him or his guardian spirit beasts, but Prince Halkenberg himself fell ill. Whether that was planned or unexpected is important. And him or his guardian spirit beast. Okay. So after they infected Halkenberg, he used his ability. Right. We're back in time probably. Okay. Himself fell ill. I'd like to know all the details and give him the letter right away when he awakens. I assigned someone I know to attend attendant duty. His letter contains all the information. Prince Benjamin's secret, Prince Soraidnik's depravity, and the truth about Prince Halkenberg's birth. So yeah, each letter was specifically altered for each prince based on the requirements. Whether they need someone to like freak out about Kachu's source, or if they're personally interested in Halkenberg's birth, maybe. And more information that checks up the succession itself. Yeah, even more information than these three. Prince Benjamin's secret. So they know about his child, his secret child. And more information that checks up the succession itself. Prince Halkenberg will surely make use of it. And one more hope, Kurapika. Will surely make use of it. As long as the succession continues, the princes can't escape the ship. Please come up with something so no more princes have to die. They have to break the rules of the succession or somehow force it. Where's my music? It's just low, huh? They just have to force the succession to just conclude or end, is what Kurabika is thinking. Kurabika and Melody, I mean. So that they can ferry out the other princes who don't want to participate, and let the rest of the princes that want the throne maybe duke it out on the ship after the other princes have left. Okay. Chapter 403, Results. Day 11. Okay, 6:45 a.m., which is almost at the same time that Melody and Kacho was making their plan to take out Lucerys. Ninth Prince Hulkenberg's personal guards aren't anywhere near the courtroom. His closest men are under surveillance in the VVIP area. Personal guards aren't anywhere near the courtroom. His personal guards specifically aren't. His closest men are under surveillance in the VVIP area, and the others were separated and reassigned to Tier 3 and below. Hulkenberg doesn't have anyone besides him to produce that powerful rumbling. So I'm guessing that Hulkenberg doesn't need specifically his personal guards, but just anybody that allies with him or considers him an ally, or considers him to be part of his party. Okay, I'll be close enough during cross-examination for 100% fatality. Hulkenberg has no way to escape. Doesn't that mean that he himself will also be infected? The judge and lawyers will be breathing normally, unaware of risk of getting infected, though they're far enough away for that to be less than 2%. It's still non-zero, but since the courtroom is closed to the public, the possibility of a pandemic is minimal. It can be suppressed by martial law if the need arises. Yeah, even if that 2% does cause a whole ass infection and goes viral. They have a contingency plan in just using martial law to eliminate anybody who could pose a threat to the kingdom. Okay, but doesn't that mean that Balsamilko also will be infected? Or does he have an antidote for himself? Okay, we'll see. He's feeling a bit suspicious after seeing a few people standing in front of him. Looks behind him. Vict! But you don't want to see a person that's supposed to be your ally, but has been MIA for quite a while. In the Nin world, that's a very bad situation. Basically, he is 100% sure that you can be 100% sure that this person is probably not your ally anymore. Rumbling. That's not possible. Hulkenberg doesn't have any of his guards with him. Vict, what happened to you? Military sign language. Is he being prevented from talking? He's just distracting him for just a moment. I figured out the secret to Hulkenberg's ability. The position of Balsamilko, captain of the First Prince's guards, is 11.9 meters away from the two of them. Triangulate... Triangle? Leg depth, 25 meters. Okay. Triangle leg depth, 25 meters. Width, 11.9 meters. To angle the shot at 26 degrees, I need to step 60 centimeters forward. The boy who shoots the arrow. Grimmel, the dissonance. Fire. So the whole point of Vict telling him this message is just to distract him, because Vict has already been compromised. And yeah, Hulkenberg can just use anybody who supports him, not just uh, his personal guards, which is insane. Like, can you imagine Hulkenberg sitting at or standing in a mosh pit or inside of an audience, a huge audience? Bro, the amount of aura would literally shake the continent, probably. That's insane. He might actually be able to, like, muster an amount of energy or nin comparable to, like, what we've seen in Chimera Ant arc. Maybe something like the king or one of the royal guards, if you put him in an entire crowd. The trial hasn't started yet? No, both sides requested a change to the start time. Both? For what reasons? Both sides, the trial? The plaintiff was unprepared due to equipment issues, but this was denied by the judge. The plaintiff. Wait, plaintiff is plaintiff. Plaintiff is the one accusing or the accused? One who commences a personal action or suit to obtain a remedy. Okay. Was unprepared due to equipment issues, but this was denied by the judge. The defendant himself was feeling ill, and this was accepted. It'll start when he gets better. What's going on? Of course he's confused. He's being told Balsamilko has failed. His equipment failed. He didn't do the thing. But the defendant himself felt ill, which means he did do it. He did feel ill and he did bow out of the trial. Equipment issues imply the mission wasn't executed? No, Hulkenberg's ability went off first. The only reasonable conclusion is that it was directed at Balsamilko. If Belsa was the one attacked, why did Hulkenberg fall ill? How was he able to use his ability by himself anyway? That's impossible. Did they get to each other? Balsa noticed his ability and charged at him to spray him with the TSK-17, but it's too early for symptoms from TSK-17. Yeah, it wouldn't be instant. It's like a few hours later. And he's calling instantly after? Okay, after the trial was ended. Like, he wouldn't exhibit literally a symptom mere moments as they're into the trial yet. Okay. There must be another reason. Tell me more about Hulkenberg's condition. He suddenly felt sick and collapsed on the spot. He is resting in sickbay in stable condition. Was anyone with him? Yes, 10 or so of his supporters who went to his aid, so Benjamin now knows that it's not just his personal guards, his supporters also count. A few are still with him and tending to him. So they made a miscalculation. It wasn't that they weren't safe by taking him to trial. Literally anybody who stands on his side, whether it's his lawyers, just people on tier 2 that he could just talk to, who support him as well, can work as his supportinators in his nin ability. So his supporters assisted in his ability with enough loyalty. It doesn't matter what organization they belong to. Oh, first Prince Benjamin. Oh, they were confused because of their own ability. Because Prince Benjamin only made a condition that only people from his military who trained under his command would work for his ability. They got blindsided by their own by their own definitions of how you would use nin, and they thought that Benjamin Hulkenberg was doing the same conditioning, that it only works on people that are his personal guards. Oh, First Prince Benjamin, the captain is here. He wants to talk to you. Hold on. This has to be a trap. Hulkenberg's illness is fake. It has to be a trap. Hulkenberg's illness is fake. The captain was attacked and is not talking of his own volition. That means this is a coercive manipulation ability. We don't know exactly if the arrow landed or not yet. So we just see that Hulkenberg is shooting an arrow at Balsamilko. That means this is a coercive manipulation ability. When it happened to Shikaku, Balsamilko said manipulation is first come, first served, perhaps between individuals, but it doesn't apply against powerful nin formed by a unified group working collectively. Is that true, or is that just his hypothesis? Is he just hypothesizing that, yeah, if just one person already is manipulating someone, maybe another person can't manipulate him, but if a whole group of people wants to manipulate that manipulated person, maybe they can overpower? Is that like a definitive thing, or is it just a guesstimation by Benjamin? What will the manipulated captain have up his sleeve? Your Highness, this is Balsamilko. Yes, what happened? Let's see what you come up with. I haven't executed my mission yet. Trouble on Hulkenberg's side, and the trial was postponed. Did you notice the rumbling earlier? Of course. An arrow was fired at me, but it missed. Hulkenberg lost consciousness on the spot. I see. Perhaps because he used his ability multiple times over a short period, or due to strain of having civilians help instead of his personal guards. A plausible explanation, but he's obviously faking his illness to postpone the trial. So there is no way to know when the trial will resume. Balsamilko, if you try to return here without executing your mission, I will consider it a coup d'etat in collusion with Hulkenberg. I will institute martial law and purge both of you. He's always thinking of that martial law, huh? No, but this is actually our chance. I would like permission to go see Hulkenberg. A few of his supporters will probably be by his side. Is that all right with you? He's going to do the deed in sickbay or pretend to, and use the time to find an opportunity to entrap me. You make the call. I only want results. I understand. I'm also aware that since Hulkenberg's ability has been used, it puts me under suspicion. Ergo, I will not return until I can demonstrate that my mission has been completed. Please let my men know. I will get the results you want within the day. Could he be telling the truth? Butch, sir. No, he's suspect until I confirm his mission is complete. It could all be a trap to bait us into inaction. That rumbling was an attack on Balsamilko. Until we find out the truth of the matter, we are on red alert. If Balsamilko leaves the Justice Bureau without notifying us, I will declare martial law. Let tiers 2 and 3 know at once. Yes, sir. Your Highness, an official from the Justice Department and 11th Prince Fugitsu have something to personally give you. And now we connect back to Fugitsu's letter. So this entire conversation happened literally moments before Benjamin was talking with Fugitsu and Kaiser. That's why he had even more stuff on his mind. Okay. The senior officials in the Justice Department are people I'll need to work with during my reign once I'm king. It wouldn't hurt to foster a good relationship to share information. Let them through. Yes, that's right. No need to worry about that. Yes, that's fine. Okay, that sounds like the kind of choice you would make. I support it. I'm sorry I won't be able to see you at the banquet, but I'm proud of you, Hulkenberg, my dear son. So you would make, I support it. So he's informing, so he is in deep with Queen Onma, huh? And he's legitimately taking her opinion of whether he should do this or not. But I'm proud of you, Hulkenberg, my dear son. The first queen is Hulkenberg's real mother. Everyone stays quiet out of fear of being disrespectful, but being dead, I can say anything. The first queen asked a secret favor of the second queen to protect Hulkenberg from assassination. Blots from her older siblings by changing his order in line to the throne. That is the prevailing theory on international websites. The order has little meaning now that the succession battle has begun, but if the rumors are true, there is a big problem. Yeah, because before the succession, everyone had to act their part, be the person that they are, in specifically the politics of the Kakin Empire. But now that the war is on, everybody's out for everybody's blood. It doesn't matter who's who. Whoever wins is the one who has all the power. So your rank is not important anymore. Has little meaning now that the succession began, but if the rumors are true, there is a big problem. The first queen might be using her power to pull the strings for Hulkenberg. Rumors that can be rumors that can be found online. Nothing shocking. He still calls it rumors in his own mind bubble. So he still considers it a rumor. It's not something he has any concrete evidence of. So she's simultaneously raising Benjamin's child that we see in the background here, and working with and supporting Hulkenberg in the background. Damn. There are still things I can say and do because I am dead. Please look after Fugetsu. So, as Lucerys sussed out, specifically Benjamin's letter specified that you should protect Prince Fugetsu. An ordinary letter, nothing political or worth showing you. 10th Prince Kachu was smart, and she surely schemed for her sister, but this is probably a bluff. It relies on speculation. Even if there are further letters or evidence, a mere girl couldn't have the political power to obtain more information than I do. He doesn't know that she's connected to the Bureau, and that her information are more concrete than what he assumes. I would have liked to shake him up more with information pertaining to the succession, or bearing on Benjamin himself, but it would backfire if he started to suspect that the Justice Department was behind it. This was worth it to find out his declaring martial law is becoming more likely every minute. So now he's on more high alert for Benjamin's attempted coup. Third prince, second, fifth, sixth. She's sort of taken aback, huh? I guess she didn't know about Hulkenberg's birth, maybe? Maybe that's shaking her up. The one who rejected the letter were 4th Prince and 13th Prince. And the 9th, 13th Prince because they can't enter the room anyway. And the 9th is under medical treatment, Hulkenberg, yeah. I really wanted 4th Prince Seri to read it. Did he decline? We're making him sound nice, but he flat out told us to toss it. Well, if even one of them becomes interested in my tip-off, it's a windfall. They might come to rely on... It's a bit too much music for this scene. This is more chill and fitting. Tip-off, it's a windfall. They might come to rely on Getty for information. Just the fact that we were able to mark 7th Prince Loser's room make this operation a success. Everything else is just icing on the cake. But now, the hard part. Yeah, now they actually have to take out a person, and she's in the medical bay, being kept on close surveillance, I guess. Thanks to Basho, the evil spirit, stay away even... Oh, thanks to Basho, the spirit can't speak. Thanks to Basho, the evil spirits stay away even when she's by herself. Let her sleep and get some rest. We need her to recover her strength, because they need to use her ability, unfortunately, despite how tired she is. I'm all for that, but it would be the worst if she can't use her ability at a critical moment. We should get some rest too. You should have a plan B in case that happens. We do this tomorrow night. Death is the punishment that awaits anyone who tries to leave the ship during the succession. Unfortunately, this ship itself is the urn for the worm toxin, so the princes must continue until only one is left alive. True, powerful Nen envelops the ship, creating a condition that prevents escape. This makes it seem as if nothing but death is allowed. But on the contrary, I think there is hope instead. I guess Korobika, from his experience, sussed out a condition here that could allow them to escape. Your Majesty, there's something I need permission for, to protect Prince Wobble and the other young princes. But what? And we cut off immediately. And I think at the end of the volume we get to touch back on this, but I don't remember what it was. He wanted permission to do something? There's something I need permission for, to protect Prince Wobble and the other young princes. I guess we'll see. But what? And we cut to third prince's room. I currently have 7 coins that the Guardian Spirit Beast produced, and there are 3 I gave to others. That's 10 total. The issue is, this is the 11th day, so there was one before. Okay, the issue is the value of one of the coins changed from 1 to 10 today. The bigger problem is that we have no idea what any of this is. I would like your opinions. 1 coin gets produced a day, so there are 10 in 10 days. We can hypothesize that the coins change after 10 days. Yes, so we'll mark the higher value coin with the date 10 days ago, and each new coin from now on will get marked with its production date. So they were haphazardly collecting the coins in one container. They don't know the specific order of them. Okay, then we can verify if all of this is true in 10 days at least, at the latest. Anything else? Which is really inconvenient. You need 10 more days to like figure out which order of each coin was. We'll need to follow up on the coins you gave away. Yes, it gives added values to those who hold one, or maybe it presents parameters related to the owner's growth. Maybe we should simply use them as money that increases in value. If the coin's value increases an order of magnitude every 10 days, the 10 coin will be worth 10,000 in 1 month. Great, so you can cast Hocus Pocus in 630 days. Sir, he's getting impatient. He always pretends like he's thinking of the future. But Zhang Li always acts quite impatient, doesn't he? I feel like he always tries to convince himself that he thinks of the future, that he is long term. He always thinks of the long term. But he isn't that kind of person, is he? He's been taught this, but maybe he isn't this by default? Because we see him talk about himself. Yeah, I always think of the far future, of the throne, of what I'm gonna do when I get to the throne. And I forget about the present. But here we see how impatient he is. He's asking his guards. He's getting short fused with their answers. He wants a more reasonable deduction. These are all mediocre ideas that I've thought of already. These men utterly lack the knowledge or experience to make conjectures on Nin abilities. Yeah. He's getting impatient with his ability. Call room 14. Information on Nin that could affect the battle for the throne. My guardian spirit beast's ability and its effects. I need Korbika to get through this. It's alright. We received notification from Hulkenberg about the mass syncope episode. They may experience effects similar to mass hypnosis after meeting me, but don't be alarmed. Effects similar to mass hypnosis after meeting me, but don't be alarmed. Oh, he's talking to his followers because they're going to be knocked out with his ability, but suddenly they will become real supporters and allow him to use his ability. The joy of basking in my presence combined with the sudden release of anxiety from the anticipation will do that to some people. Yeah, sure. They'll recover quickly. That one? Yes. It's alright. We received notification from Hulkenberg about the mass hypnosis episode. That one? Yes. Because every person he's meeting that is a supporter of him seems to be falling over and gaining the whole thing on his arm, the mark. We did get a report that a dozen or so supporters who met with the prince simultaneously passed out in the waiting room. Like he said, they recovered and went about their business. Actually, there's something else concerning. One of the staff who was there during the visitation passed out with the same symptoms, but at a different time and place. Who was there during the visitation? That can't be explained by coincidence. It wasn't a coincidence. Where is the staff member now? I could try telling them our situation in order to find out what Hulkenberg is trying to do and form an alliance. He's standing by in his quarters, ostensibly for observation. One of the staff who was there during the visitation passed out with the same symptoms, but at a different time and place. At a different time and place? Okay. Alright, I'll do an interview just in case. Tell me his name and room number. Okay, I think this person... Wait, no? I don't know, let's just read the chapter first. I just don't know what Hulkenberg would think of my action, considering he likes to be fair and upstanding. Wario. His name is Wario, okay. Wario Bay. Room E6. Bro, they really got Wario up in this succession battle. It's too risky to meet Hulkenberg in person when his ability is unknown. I'll find out the truth through Wario. Tell me, what really happened, Wario? You can rest assured here, you will never be censured because of your beliefs. We know there have been mysterious abilities used in the succession battle. 10th Prince Kacho used theirs to try to escape the ship and lost her life. It seems odd, so they're just telling this outright to everybody, huh? It seems this ship is covered, or is he just specifically leaking this information to him to gain his trust? It seems this ship is covered by a barrier and the king has something to do with it. I don't waste time on vague nonsense. Supernatural abilities do exist and the prince are using them as weapons. I support 9th Prince Hulkenberg's separate from my duties as Justice Department, Deputy Chief Prosecutor. As long as 11th Prince Fukitsu's safety can be assured, that is. What's that? A mark I received from the prince. 9th Prince Hulkenberg told me to tell you everything if you brought up the topic of Nin abilities yourself. He anticipated I would come to see you? Yes, you would obviously connect the dots for the mass fainting, and if you don't come to see him, it's proof you're wary of him. And that means you know of the existence of Nin. How astute. 9th Prince Hulkenberg is going to die soon. Huh. One of his supporters is telling him that. But at a different time and date. What? So this guy did pass out, but at a different time and date. So they set it up. They set up the fainting episode. To bait this kind of position. To get in contact with Kaiser. It wasn't something that happened naturally, huh? Right? At least that's my read on the situation. They wanted contact with Kaiser. Are you sure? Yes, the mission has been completed. As planned, I will deliver results to you tonight. You want to go public with the letter? Yes, the second... Okay, so that's what he was talking about. And we already get it here. I thought it was at the end of the volume. Okay. As planned, I will deliver results to you tonight. And we have Hulkenberg consciousness explicitly behind Balsamilko. So let me understand what happened before we continue to Korabika's plan with the letters. Balsamilko failed to use his equipment on Hulkenberg in the initial court appearance because there wasn't a cross-examination. They delayed the meeting, but then Hulkenberg took control of Balsamilko. And he realized what Balsamilko was planning. So he contacted Benjamin, realized that he needs to use it on himself. That's why none of the other supporters got infected. Balsamilko, he himself, now that he has the knowledge of what Balsamilko was trying to do, so he could use him. So he can, now that he's in Balsamilko's body, he wants to gain Prince Benjamin's trust, and the only way that he can do that, now that he knows the information, is to take himself out. His original body out, which actually has Balsamilko's consciousness in it. At least that's what I remember about the situation from future events. And suspiciously, only Hulkenberg is down with the sickness. That's because Hulkenberg made sure to only infect himself with it. But yeah, the thing is, if that's how this ability works, Balsamilko was willing to take Hulkenberg out with him. Because he is at the epicenter of the disorder, no? So shouldn't Prince Benjamin realize, hey, if he used the ability, it would also take out his guard. How could they miss such a detail? They must have an antidote, no? That Balsamico used on himself. Or that Balsamico would use on himself. To save himself. But they never mentioned such a thing. Okay. You want to go public with the letter? Yes. The second round of Nin workshop will begin tomorrow. Like last time, attendance will be up to the princes. Of Nin workshop will begin tomorrow. Like last time, attendance will be up to the princes, and I will let them know. I will be making the letter public then. Not my letter, but the letter addressed to you, of course. Yeah, because they had to contact Korabika, they might as well slip him an extra letter telling him of the entire situation and what they're trying to do. If you need to, but why? 3 reasons. First, to avoid unnecessary suspicion. The letters to the high-ranking princes expose their scandals and crimes. If they get nervous that the lower-ranked princes hold their secrets, it might accelerate the conflict. Second, to avoid unnecessary suspicion. Might accelerate the conflict. Second, I'm hoping to make 10th Prince Kacho's wishes known. Would put a damper on the succession battle. And 3, by advertising the fact we can expect some kind of contact from higher ranked princes. By advertising the fact we can expect some kind of contact from higher ranking princes. We may come up empty-handed. So he wants to contact higher ranking princes. The only one is Camilla, right? Camilla is the only one that didn't send guards. Depending on who comes knocking and for what, we can use postponing or cancelling the letter reveal as a bargaining chip. Someone might be like, hey, I don't want you to reveal the letter and all my secrets. And they're willing to... Basically what Korabika wants is maybe we can blackmail some people with the possibility of leaking the secrets in the letter. That some people don't want publicly available, at least. Okay. You need to breathe in TSK-17 to take effect, I think. So I don't think Balsamico was gonna take himself out. Yeah, but he's at the epicenter. If he's suddenly... He needs to breathe, right? I don't think... He can just go around in the courtroom and unleash this airborne toxin, airborne disease or disorder, and not breathe it in himself, no? You think he can do it without breathing for like, what, 20-30 minutes? Or you think that the disorder is only airborne for like maybe a minute or 2 and he can hold his breath for like the minute? Still, he's literally the origin point. His infection rate should be 100%. Chapter number 404. Not found. I mean, speculation. You're pretty much proven your hypothesis that the coins change after 10 days. Okay, so Korabika is meeting Third Prince. To maintain their physical forms, there should be an upper limit to how many can be produced. Here, the costs are shared by distributing them to others, making mass production possible. Okay, the point of currency is to change hands. We'll need to verify what kind of changes occur in that case. First, are there any differences in design between the coins you have and the ones you've given to others? This should be a quick check. Your Highness, mine has a different design from those. So they do have different design. I must have forgotten about this. You're right, the front is the same, but the back is totally different. This shows that the effects of the coins can also differ depending on who's holding them. So it changed to Third Prince Zangle, the image. Can you give one of those coins to your entourage to see what happens? Okay, Korabika, I'll give you this 10 coin. Korabika got taken off guard. Huh? Will the 10 coin change if I give it away? We can see what happens to the number and the design, letting us kill 2 birds with 1 stone. And giving it to one of his own guards is useless. It will show him probably again. So he wants to see if it will change to Wobble or Oito or we don't know what it will change to. And the design letting us kill 2 birds with 1 stone. He's certainly not making this easy. Alright, he's forced to take it. Denying it is like being suspicious that there's something more lethal happening. If I don't take it, he might not trust me. But even if accepting it is a condition to activate a semi-coercive manipulation ability, the nin stored over 10 or so days isn't enough to give powerful commands like murder. 1 coin a day, they change after 10 days. This is a long-term outlook, an ability that would demonstrate its true utility after he's king. It reflects Zhanglei's personality to plan ahead. It'll be safe enough for now. I don't know. That's what he keeps saying, and that's what he keeps pretending to be. But he's very, very impatient every time we see him considering and talking about the coins. He feels very irritated. He's constantly trying to figure them out. So my guess is that there's multiple conditions. We got this information before, that there's multiple conditions for activation. Maybe some conditions are long term. Maybe some conditions are very short term. Well, my ears. But I really need to figure out how to balance the audio. So it's always constantly the same, no matter which track. I've dabbled with, what's it called, FFmpeg before, but I don't remember how to use it anymore. I just forgot. I know it can be done, but doing it manually for each single music track, it's kind of boring. Maybe I can figure out a way to implement it in my MPV player. Add something that will always make the audio the same level. We'll see. I'll actually, let me put a note. That's a good idea. Write it here. MPV audio leveling plugin. Maybe one day in the future I'll make a video on how to do that. Anyway, where were we? Well, okay, vroom, it turned back to 1 and the icon has turned to Zhangle. Both the number and design changed. It looks the same as Tinftori's. It seems the time and effect get reset when it changes hands. Here, I'll give it back to you. Let's see if it changes again. Alright. The design changed back to mine. Yeah, the flower. Wait, what was the design? The design changed back to mine. But its value didn't go back to 10. It's still 1. I see, now I understand. I have a rough idea of your ability. Really? Do tell. Right now, this guy is immediately interested. Like, really? You figured it out? Let's see. I don't mind. I guarantee it's not something that would threaten First Prince Benjamin. He's basically telling him, don't reveal any information that would threaten First Prince Benjamin, right? He's slick. Third Prince Zhenglei's guardian spirit beast is presumed to have a cumulative conjuring ability. The epicenter is only where the gas is let out, right? Balsa only needs to not breathe for a few seconds and move few meters away, where it's not lethal anymore. Um, well, it still wouldn't be a 100% chance that he would survive. Let's go back. Where is it? It's not just a few meters, right? It's much more wider. He'd still have like a few percent chance of dying. Oh, actually, you're right. It's only 3 meters. But have you seen a courtroom before? I don't think usually the defendant, and depends on how large the courtroom is. If we've seen actually the courtrooms. I don't remember what chapter, but we see Botabai on tier 3 prosecuting people. And I don't know if they can spare the luxury to like make a huge courtroom. They probably have a very small room because the space is limited on the ship. I doubt that he still would have like a complete. He would be able to like move 3 meters away, back to his stand. Not to mention, his in this chapter. Where is it? There you go. Well, I guess I'll be close enough during cross-examination for 100% fatality. So when he stands next to him, he's going to detonate it, and then he's going to sit back on his chair. But what if the judge doesn't dismiss him immediately? What if he's still called to the stand and he has to answer a few more questions? It's just very risky. Or maybe his Nin ability allows him to do something that allows him to survive, because nobody was concerned for Balsamilko to make it back alive. Benjamin even considers that, oh yeah, once you're done with your mission, you can return. Return to what if he's gonna die? He must have some condition that allows him to protect himself against it. Whether it's something with his Nin ability, another person's Nin ability that allows him to not get infected, or an antidote that he has on himself. Anyway, let's continue. Third Prince Zhenglei's Guardian Spirit Beast is presumed to have a cumulative conjuration ability. Living as Third Prince, he's become adept at using. Let's read the behind the scenes things first. He's become adept at using implicit signaling. He'll be on our side as long as we understand what he wants and maintain rank. He wants me to refrain from revealing the ways in which this ability could be a threat. Currency is meant to be circulated, but by intentionally making it something to hold on to long term, the coins store Nin, perhaps enabling them to exhibit various powers later on. Let me try that again. The coins store Nin, perhaps enabling them to exhibit various powers later on. In about 6 months. Where's my music? One track is very loud and the next one is very low, huh? In about 6 months, when the coins are worth quintillion, the owner could have their nodes opened. Okay, could. Not will. Meaning they will be ready to use Nin. As you surmise, 10 to the power of 64 could be the required amount for a Nin ability to manifest in that person. After all, That number is represented in Buddhist terminology and is unimaginable. Since Nin normally requires rigorous training to learn, this may be an optimal way to bypass that effort and the risks involved. But still, that's 600 days? That's over 2 years, right? Or under 2 years. Slightly under 2 years, yeah. In exchange for being as close to risk and cost-free as possible, the beast requires compensation, which is probably pseudo-coercive manipulation, so they become loyal to Third Prince in exchange for Nin abilities. A cumulative ability is often seen in those who are intellectual and who like to plan ahead, so he doesn't say the parts that are threatening, that they will be coerced in exchange. In other words, this ability looks ahead to a time after you assume the throne, semi-forced loyalty to Zhang Lei, its creator. Manipulation, yeah. I see, isn't it like me? I should omit the part about the possibility of pseudo-coercive manipulation for now. It would make unnecessary waves, and I don't want to let the coin, and I want to let the coin do its thing and see its effects. Its effects on the person who's hiding the coin that appeared on the first day. This guy, Coven Toba, the first prince's personal guard. He's like, the coin must have come out at day 1 because the beasts activated on day 1. So the only reason that Zhang Lei wouldn't have that coin is because somebody took it, somebody who's not loyal to him. And he assumes this guy is the guy who found it. Today is Wednesday, 11 days since the succession battle began. Most abilities that count days as a condition use the moment of emergence as day 1. If the coins started to appear on Sunday, there would be 10 coins by now. The one who picked it up hasn't stepped forward, even now, because he knows what's going on and doesn't want to give information to Zhang Lei. So someone who's actively skilled in Nin and is working against Zhang Lei. So he hypothesizes it's Coven Toba. But it could be any... Wait, Third Prince only has 2 spies, which is one from Unma and one from Duazul, right? So it's a 50-50, either this guy or whoever is the spy from Duazul. And the spy from Duazul... Wait, he would have been there on day 1. But the spy from Duazul is the guy that tagged along with Kurabika. His name is like Slaka. What was it? Slova, maybe? It's not Slova. It's something similar to Slaka. It's that guy. So these are the 2 people that could be. And Kurabika hypothesizes that it's probably this guy because Kurabika has been with Slaka. He knows he's not that skilled to act on that level. Maybe. He saw it appear from the guardian spirit beast and picked it up, and it benefited him to keep quiet about it. He's the only one here who can use Nin and isn't affiliated with Zhang Lei. Yeah, he also knows that the Duazul servant doesn't use Nin, at least from his experience, or from his Nin lessons, because that guy was at his room the entire time. The coins appear every day at 1 p.m. We can easily find out who was by Zhang Li's side at the time by checking the shift's schedule. But then you leave a trace that you were watching the schedules. His presence now gives me an excuse as to why I'm hiding the manipulative nature of the ability if it comes to light later that I wasn't forthcoming about it. Yes, this was very helpful, Kurabika. Now I can spend my time pondering how to spend my future with my siblings. Well, the number of coins you have may also have an effect. The number of coins you have. I think you should hold on to a few yourself for now. Alright then, I'll give you the one that appeared today, and I'll hold on to the rest for a while. Okay, the one that appeared today. So it's giving him a new one, not the same one that they exchanged previously. Goddamn. As for the other topic, I must ask. I must ask you to wait a while longer. The second workshop should be key. Fine. There can be never be too much information, but it's not urgent. As for the other topic, I must ask you to wait a while longer. Okay. I'm more worried about you and about 14th Prince Wobble's security detail. Don't think of us as equals. I'm accepting information in exchange for ensuring Wobble's safety. It's likely the others used the first workshop to gather intel and lay their groundwork. You should prepare yourself. Much appreciated. So... the first workshop as in the first 2 weeks, the first 14 days. The first batch of Nin working, Nin teaching workshop, right? So now that they have trained their Nin, these guards can disappear and they can send a new batch of guards to teach about Nin. Huh. That's what the second workshop means, at least that's what I'm understanding. That Korobeka is going to continue teaching people. It's just 2 more people from each of the other princes. Okay. Much appreciated. Being under his protection in exchange for information on Nin pertaining to the succession battle is extremely beneficial, but it comes with great risks. Okay, Zhangli is one of the princes with a mafia family under their wing. There are over 200 members on board on the lower tiers, their combat potential serving as inhibition against the higher princes. The power balance between him, Tsoridnik, and Luzerus, with their connection to this underworld, is important. If it tips too far, the situation could change drastically. Yeah, Korobeka is intimately familiar with the whole mafia situation because he was part of the mafias. He worked for the what's their names? His first job was working for a mafia faction. What were they named? The girl with the ghost writing. The Nostrada family, yeah. And then after that we've seen that he had a lot of connection with the mafia when Mizai's Tom approached him. He was very deep in working with them to figure out the people who have his eyes. Okay. If the rope in the tug of war between these 3 princes snaps, who will benefit most? Benjamin. He has a powerful weapon in his back pocket called martial law. The intensifying conflict between the factions will be enough reason to enact it. So if they go into, if the mafia break down and they start fighting all out, Benjamin can immediately enact martial law. So from his perspective, it's best that the mafia goes to war. From Benjamin's perspective, at least. Okay. Be enough to reason to enact it. He can place all the princes under house arrest. Excuse me. Can place all the princes under house arrest with the pretense of protecting them, and then he'll have free reign. Yeah, because he can control all their movement and he can instruct all his soldiers to like act in order to protect themselves, even if they have to like fake evidence that the princes attacked them. The problem is how the rope gets cut. The rope that held this balance for so long may seem fragile, but is actually strong. If this breaks out into an all-out war without any deals, the surest thing to happen is the assassination of the leaders. The real leaders here are the benefactors, princes. Once the situation is created where any assassination of a prince can be interpreted as a mafia hit, the all-out war will transition to martial law. So it's entirely possible that Benjamin will go after either Zangley, Sereidnik or Lucerys in order to create this very situation. And considering Benjamin's personality, actually now that I think about it, Lucerys, they're going after Lucerys, and he has the mafia ties. Would they have like some protections in mind if somebody tries to like take out Lucerys? Because he is allied with who was he allied with? The Cha'ar, right? With King Broccoli. Not King, Boss Broccoli. At the bottom, yeah. Okay. Could they have like some Nin protections that protect him other than the Nin beast themselves? Even if Zhang Lei was lying with the youngest prince, was living with the youngest prince to protect her, he won't hesitate. Even if Zhang Lei was living with the youngest prince to protect her, he won't hesitate. In fact, her death would emphasize the cruelty of the mafia and place the blame on them. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, Benjamin wouldn't hesitate to attack even if Wobble was under the protection of Third Prince Zhang Lei. Hmm. Being in room 14 where each prince's guards monitor and keep the others in check may be safer than the risk of Benjamin coming after us in room 30. But we still don't know who sent those snakes, not to mention the danger that each of them is plotting something danger of each of them plotting something. Which choice involves more risk? The difference is negligible. It's a gut decision. So he's afraid of Benjamin attacking Wobble in the third room with Zhang Lei versus staying in their own room. Either way, we're on thin ice. I'll get back to Leorio. Bro, it's been so long since we've seen someone from the main cast. Well, we have Melody. We have Melody and Bacho, and if you consider those part of the main cast as well. I consider Melody part of the main cast. For some reason, I always remember Melody. She's one of my favorite characters. From back in the day even, before even reading the manga. Not even the 2011 anime, even the 99 version of the anime. Anyway, what was I saying? Impatient is unresponsive. Temperature 97.9, no tremors or labored breathing. He may have hit his head while he fell. Order a Chem 7 blood panel and a CT. Ask 7th Prince Halkin. Oh yeah, this is a mistranslation, right? 7th Prince Halkenberg's guards on tier 1 about his condition over the past week. Man, this chapter is translation has been a long time since I got in these chapters. I think they fixed it eventually. It's 9th Prince Halkenberg's guards on tier 1 about his condition over the past week. Send the Vomitus to Jill in forensics stat. The target's persona won't wake up until I go to sleep. The addition of a coma to the symptoms will delay the stomach flu diagnosis conveniently. Addition of a coma, yeah, because he's in a coma. Because he transferred his consciousness, because the ability is just random and he randomly got selected to be in Balsamilko's body. Will delay the stomach flu diagnosis conveniently. If I get mother to refuse an autopsy, my death will be officially classified as unexplained organ failure. If I get mother to refuse an autopsy. Okay. Hulkenberg vomited and was taken to the hospital. My mission will be complete in about 12 hours. And meanwhile, Balsamilko is going through it in Hulkenberg's body, huh? Once he starts vomiting, it'll take half a day until death. We don't want any interference. Good work. I'll send the royal and military medical teams there. Monitor progress. Yes, sir. We proved our hypothesis in our experiment with Shikaku and Sumidori. After he was shot, Sumidori, the body, awoke and recited Shikaku's service number. Okay, so that wasn't Sumidori's number. I remember that he was saying it. We confirmed the fact that only one of the swapped minds can be awake at a time. Our side generally has priority. Okay, so one person can be conscious at a time, while Sumidori, the body, is conscious, Shikaku, the mind, won't awaken. Once Sumidori wakes up, Shikaku is forced to lose consciousness. Wait, they went... Okay, so... Okay. It's conscious, Shikaku, the mind... So there was a long time between... Shikaku being taken over, and then the other like arrow that was fired that Shikaku also used as cover to but then who did Hulkenberg use the arrow on if he was using Shikaku as a distraction? In that moment, we never seen who got controlled in that situation. Lose consciousness. Trying to awaken Shikaku won't work during this time. This priority is earned by putting our lives on the line. Okay, my ability is a forced mind swap. One person is chosen at random from our group and switches mind with the victim shot with the arrow. Next, we need to find out what happens to the mind when the body dies. When there are two bodies, only one persona can be awake at a time, and priority goes to us. Since the definition of death isn't spelled out in the succession battle, it's reasonable to consider that both the body and the mind need to be dead. Therefore, once we've split a prince's mind from their body, there is no point in testing a process by which the target's mind could return to their original body. Once we've split a person's mind from their body, there is no point in testing a process by which the target's mind could return to their original body. What we need to test first was when the target's body dies first. What happens to the person within? 2. What if the target's mind, having lost a body to return to, also loses his current body? As for 2, it's obvious when you consider that this is an ability made possible by the assistance of the guardian spirit beast in order to win the succession battle. That yeah, they're probably going to die. But what about 1? When the target's body dies first, what happens to the person within? So, if you killed Shikaku first, and Sumidori's body was left, what would happen then? As for 1, only those who are willing to sacrifice themselves for the greater good can participate in my ability. Feeling morally conflicted about it is a disservice to their righteous dedication to the cause. So because they're willing to go to these lengths for Hulkenberg, he's willing to overlook the morality behind these actions, is what he's saying. My focus must remain on fighting to build the ideal nation to honor their noble sacrifices. So he's looking away from uh, the death of all his allies for the sake of being the successor. Like, maybe my allies and my enemies will fall, but I will be the successor. And I will shape the world to be a better place. The probability of me swapping with Balsamilko myself was low, but within expected parameters. We experimented with Vict in advance. If the body in our side dies first, the victim's mind returns to their own body and coexists with the trespasser's mind. If the body on our side dies first, the victim's mind returns to their own body and coexists with the trespasser's mind. In that case, the victim's mind regains dominance. Okay. Okay, so the victim becomes the dominant. Okay. Therefore, right after my body dies, Balsamilko's mind will return to his own body. And my mind will be forced into sleep. Yeah, Balsamilko will have the upper hand once he dies. Okay. Once Hulkenberg's body dies, yeah. Okay, but we can do something about this. Right before my body dies, I'll take a sleeping pill in Balsamilko's body. The time I'll have until Balsamilko's mind reawakens can only be loosely finessed, but I'll be able to control this body for about 10 hours after my own body's death. I have to finish this within that time. My next move, to be the victor in this succession battle. To be the victor in this succession battle. So this part always confused me a little bit. What does he mean? He will take sleeping, what was it called? And I'll take a sleeping pill in Balsamilko's body. So he is going to drug himself into sleep, but that somehow allows him to control the body in its sleep? Would that work? Wouldn't they just both be knocked out? I guess not. I guess if the original person is forced to sleep, he just magically can control the body, maybe. I don't know. Okay. And we get these shots of the military doctors. Shidel is like offering advice to him or discussing with them possible treatment, but meanwhile they're just standing around waiting for it to happen. They're just allowing it to happen, just staring at him, doing absolutely nothing. Furikov is back at base, huh? Camilla's chilling. And this guy, Zangley, is still worried about the coins. Who was it who said leveling up isn't climbing a hill but a staircase? It's so true. My time just wouldn't get shorter and I was about to be discouraged. 3 seconds. No way, just 3 days? This is absurd. Theta, what am I supposed to do with him? Aha. I still haven't taken it easy. I still can't take it easy. Getting under that last second will be much harder. 1 week or 10 days, it might even take 2 weeks. Damn it. I'll make it happen. I'll carve it down. That's how. When Balsamilko goes to sleep, Hulkenberg regains consciousness. So yeah, that means Hulk would have control despite the body being in a sleep state. Yeah, it's a bit confusing because you think, oh, if you're drugging the body itself will fall asleep. But I guess I guess not. It just must be some Nen controlling, manipulation that allows Hulkenberg to control him in his sleep. Yeah. I'll carve it down. That's how. The progress he can make in a given amount of time is so much more than what the average guy can do. He's so intense. Even the deadline he sets for himself is on a different level. And he knows he can make it happen. And then he said with Spar, right? What the hell is he going to do with me? Yeah, it must be a manipulation, is what I'm guessing, because it doesn't make sense. The body itself should be knocked out. But yeah, he's still training and he got his hair tied up. I don't know, it's just so funny with his hair tied up like that. Okay, Tobeba is doing research, probably gathering info. Tyson is just dancing it up and making merry. Losers is probably conspiring with his mafia connection. Hachu tending to Fugetsu. Mariam is just completely removed from the situation. They're just not involved at all. I'm surprised at how little Mariam was involved in the last like 10-20 chapters. Since they like removed themselves into that room, absolutely nothing. We've got almost absolutely nothing from them. The only thing is like, what's his name? The guy who's like in love with the biscuit. That was the last time we've even heard from them. Okay, the second round of classes will begin tomorrow, Thursday at 9 in the morning. The format will be the same as before, but second Prince Camilla's guard will be joining us this time. Vergay. How do you remember all these names? Are you just googling them? Do you have like the entire encyclopedia next to you? Bro, in an instant remembered Vergay. Who even is Vergay, man? I'm so jealous of people who have memories. Not really. As I said before. Being able to just forget everything and watch it all over from zero is is my superpower, personally. It's all in your head, huh? Bro, you're the complete opposite of me. If somebody is not on screen for more than like 10 seconds, I'll forget their name immediately. From Prince Benjamin's camp, it will be you. Wait, did I read this? The second round of classes will begin tomorrow, Thursday at 9 in the morning. The format will be the same as before. So yeah, he's making another class, but for another batch of students. You've reread this many times in the last 2 years. It's actually, I think the last time I read Hunter x Hunter was the last batch of chapters that came out. It's been a while for me. Or actually maybe a little bit after it, because I was making a video. Was it? No, actually it wasn't. It was before the last batch even finished that I made that video. So yeah, I think I haven't read it in a long ass time. At 9 in the morning. The format will be the same as before, but the second Prince Camilla's guards will be joining us this time. From the Prince Benjamin's camp, it will be you and Furikov as before, is that right? Yes. They're just supervising, they're not attending any classes for at least the first prince. So, why do you think Prince Camilla changed her mind? They're just speaking outwardly in front of Bobby Mina, huh? Maybe she was verifying your claims. They know what happened here, so there must be some benefit for their side anyway. The reason could genuinely be to take the course, or to gather intel, assassination, alliance building, strategy, basically the gamut. Prince Camilla's personal guards use curse techniques to the have-nots. Uh, use curses unique to the have-nots. If that's true, uh, are they nin abilities? Is the target really wobble? Good grief, more uncertainties. He's already thinking of maybe protecting wobble? Is that what he's thinking? Has he really genuinely changed his heart and mind? He's actually working with working to protect Korabika and the queen and the prince. Are they nin abilities? Is the target really wobble? He's not even sure they're nin abilities and not just actual literal curses. Okay. That they're only sending one person shows a firm resolve. Considering Camilla's personality, they're not coming to learn. They're not definitely coming to do something. Melody's letter on the secrets of each prince didn't mention anything about Camilla. Does she have a secret that forced them to act? It depends on what they do. I have the contract. It depends what they do. I have the contract with Zangley too. I'll have to be careful. We want to keep Prince Camilla's guard away from Prince Wobble as much as possible. The shifts will be tough, but we'll do this together. That's fine. Shimano, stand by the Queen's and Prince's side. Chores can take a back seat. Yes, sir. These incompetent ass doctors were literally just standing there, watching, hands behind their back, twiddling their thumbs until he dies. And he gives him the go ahead. Yep, he's dead, officially. The body will be transferred at noon today from Tier 3 to Tier 2 via the central stairwell, then the morgue in Tier 1. Yeah, the court was in Tier 3. They pulled him all the way down to Tier 3, huh? For the court. So it is the same court that we've seen Botabai, one of the Zodiacs, in. Which was insanely small room, as I mentioned before. It's a very, very compact room because they don't have much space. So he wouldn't be able to walk away very easily. But they were sent by Benjamin, so they're just waiting for him to die, lol. They were sent by Benjamin? I guess, yeah, you're right. Queen Onma could control the autopsy. That means she can control the doctors. So yeah, they're helping facilitate Hulkenberg's plan. Okay. Well, poor Balsamilko, who has to suffer the entire disorder for Hulkenberg in his body. Okay. The body will be transferred at noon today from Tier 3 to Tier 2 via the central stairway, then the morgue in Tier 1. The shipwide... the morgue, is that what they call the place where they put all the princes in? The morgue. Or is that just codename? Is it just a fake story? I'm just gonna call it the morgue now, from now on, I guess. A ship-wide announcement, a send-off by his supporters and his personal guards to transport the coffin. These were his last wishes. Yes, his own words when he sensed his death. How would we respond? Do as he wished. It'll show we honored his wishes, even if we don't say outright they were his. Okay. Everything should be done solemnly and with dignity so that his supporters' sorrow doesn't turn to anger. He thinks he's completely won and is just offering a hand after now that he thinks he's completely in charge. Inform Judge Clea that we drop all charges so that his guards can join him at once. Yes, sir. So once they get here, I'll discuss funeral plans, and the autopsy, and monitor the process. That means I'll return at the same time as Halkenberg's body. Make sure it gets handled respectfully. Well done. Thank you, sir. Thank you, my brother. I'm afraid we have some tragic news to report. Prince Halkenberg's passed away in the early hours this morning. At noon, his funeral procession will pass through the central staircase on its way to Tier 1. Those on Tier 3 who wish to pay their respects may gather in the central staircase square. Is this prince some benefactor for either mafia? No. Then who cares? Let's get down to Tier 3. So they are paying attention to which benefactor. Okay. What would that mean to them? I guess it means a change in the mafia, or maybe the breakout of a war. So they need to be on their toes and prepared. Thanks to Henrik placing the transmitter where they can't find it, we have time. There's something I want to check with the other two families before we head to the Haley hideout. What about Haley? Yeah, no point. We crushed them anyway. It has to do with how we crush them, of course. We may have to call the others depending on what they say. You know, makes sense. Being charmed by the enemy is creepy. Well, if it's unfounded, then whatever, but I'll beat you up if I'm right on this. Again, Nobunaga getting attached to somebody that he meets on the job, just like he did with Gon and Killua when he asked them to join. Or did he only ask Kurapika? Did he only ask Gon? I think he only asked Gon, not Killua. Hit me. Oh, we're going to... Wait 1 second. Yeah. Yep. Last chapter for the day. And we get to see the real Hisoka this time. What was I saying? Yeah, Nobunaga getting attached to... what's his name? Henrik. Again. Hit me. Chapter of... Well, it doesn't say it anywhere here, but yeah. Hit me. A daring play. This person is. Hit me. Isn't Poker Blade with 5 cards? In SQX, there's multiple decks are used. This is SQ4, SQ3. I really don't know how to read out. I suck at numbers. SQ3. You can stack the same cards with your bit, exponentially increasing with each hit. However, you are not allowed to fold. That's why it's commonly referred to as GTH, go to heaven. For better or worse, you'll find yourself ascending. Call. Better or worse? Worse. So you could like owe the casino money? Okay. Oh wait, so this is the TCB scan. Okay. There you go. We've been reading the official this entire time. Let's continue reading the official. These chapters I've collected like manually, so sometimes I've collected TCB, sometimes I've collected the official. Since we're reading the official, I'll continue reading the official, I guess. Not only Henrik, but he also loves finding good opponents. In this case, Morena and the Haley in general. Yeah. He usually gets attached to enhancers, right? Because Gon and Uvogen were both enhancers. And he sensed the same fire in Gon. The same one brain cell that operates both of them. Is Henrik enhancer? What was Henrik? He was a transmuter, right? Henrik is a transmuter because he's transmuting living objects into animals. Conjurer. Really? Wouldn't conjuring be creating something out of nothing? not creating something out of something. That's transmutation, no? I guess they're... are they adjacent? Let me check the nin chart. Nin chart. Mission transmutation and conjuration. Yeah, they're next to each other. So yeah, maybe he can dip into it. Shouldn't be too hard for him to do. Anyway. One more call. Chapter 405, Performance by Yoshihiro Togashi. Really, I've got pretty normal tastes. When I heard about exterminating the ants, it didn't turn me on, because they were ants. The tremendous rumbling I've felt a number of times here, finding out it was a group ability made possible through the support of a nin beast created with the power of a ceremony. It really turned me off. Where is bro getting all this information from? Bro has not been involved in the succession battle at all. And he has all this information. I've always had this idea or prediction that Kaiser has been controlled by Illumi. Because he looks very similar to Illumi. His mannerisms, his face, the way he's drawn. I always thought that Kaiser is being controlled by Illumi and he's feeding him information. So is Illumi actually feeding this information to Hisoka? It wouldn't be a Hisoka move. Hisoka just likes to fuck shit up on his own. So how is he getting this information? It really turned me off. See, I'm normal. I'm not interested in bestiality or an orgy. I can't get aroused. I'm just a guy who wants to be with someone one-on-one so we can love each other to death. Sad, oh well, there's always solitaire. Boy, Sokka's wild. Okay. And we have Minolinov, who's been sent to the first tier. Or is it tier 2? I think tier 2. To separate him from the troop. Because they think it's Hisoka. Wow, I didn't think I'd actually come across him in the tier 1 VIP casino. He's not another fake Hisoka, is he? You want me to transform into Hisoka? Yeah. Go hang out where the mafia might be. They should come to you and take you to the nicer rooms. Why? To maintain balance. I don't think so, just because Kaiser is so hung up on protecting Fugetsu. Yeah, what I'm thinking is Kaiser is just operating normally. He doesn't realize that he's being manipulated. All that's happening is that the information that he's perceiving is being funneled back to Illumi. But other than that, he continues to act like a normal person, like he would, like he perceives like everything is going on normal with him. He doesn't realize that he's being manipulated. That's kind of what I'm guessing. Maybe he's just being a puppet that, not a puppet, a drone that collects information so that they can, I don't know, whatever they want to do. Just having information is useful, especially when it comes to the entire succession battle. Go hang out where the mafia is to maintain the balance. To the mafia, both us and Hisoka are wild cards. Roaming freely through their turf could make them lose face. But if they try to recruit either of us according to their conventions, it would lead to a fight and disrupt the balance, something the mafia hates the most. Okay. The simplest way to avoid that would be to find Hisoka and keep him away from us. We're a group, so it's harder to contain us. But Hisoka is a single person, so he's a single victor. You can take him out. I see. Once the mafia thinks I'm Hisoka and tucks me away, the troop is free to go find the real Hisoka. Okay. Then everyone can save face. Although promoters might try to feature Hisoka since he is a floor master. I guess that's possible, but we haven't seen Illumi's ability work that way. Illumi might be the best manipulator, so maybe he could do it though. Yeah, he's been in the business for a long time. It wouldn't be best him to be able to do that, is what I'm thinking. Although promoters might try to feature Hisoka since he is a floor master. Yeah, so be careful because maybe some people will notice you and put you on stage and stuff. Okay, the real Hisoka is likely already in tier 1, somewhere as a VIP, through some prince's invitation. Once you get invited upstairs, be careful that you don't run into him. Crawler was so right. Then why are you still disguised as Hisoka? You should have immediately not been Hisoka the moment you got there. But I bet he didn't tell everyone because he wants to deal with Hisoka himself. If you find him, transform into someone else and wait for me. Okay, that was part of his guides, that transform into someone else and wait for me. I'll decide whether we fight. My ability doesn't work well against Hisoka anyway. There's no way I could transform while dodging that gum. Okay. Transformation. Metamorphosen, I think, is one of Banana Nav's ability. He can transform into someone he has talked to in person. The time he can maintain the transformation is equal to the time he spent with that person. So this Shadow Beast. There is no... This guy, what was his ability? He has the handkerchief that he puts stuff in and shrinks down so that he can transport. And they took him in as a captive and tortured him for days, probably. At least that's what I remember, is that, what's his name? Phaeton was torturing this guy for days and days on information. So he must have had a long time to talk to him and have met him for a long time. He can transform into this guy for a long time. And also Hisoka, he transformed into Hisoka because they were part of the same troop. They hanged out for a while as well. Yeah, okay, that's cool. That woman whose bunch could reveal your inner soul. She found out who I was, so I had to kill her. I let the IV drip guy live so I could come upstairs, but I hope that won't be a problem. That won't be a problem. Even if they find her body later, they won't think Hisoka did it, would they? Are you Hisoka? No, I'm only pretending to be Hisoka. Was that my voice? Oops, they found out. The guy must have heard too. You're Hisoka, right? Guess you didn't hear me. And then he recovers from that. I see, so the one who can hear the inner voice with the ability are the user and the one who got hit. Are you okay? He said he was Hisoka. No, he's a fake. I asked his body. No, he's a fake. I asked his body. He's trying to trick us. He's from the Haley or the troop. Either way, he ain't getting away with this. I'll get Henry to put him on the top of the hit list. Oh, that's too bad. Wait. Okay, I was just about to say that. So Lynch is the real Lynch. But he's the fake guy. Okay. Okay, and he knocked that guy out. And then he had a conversation with her while she's still alive. Then killed her, then transformed into her and had a conversation with the real guy. God, this is so confusing. Anyway, oh, that's too bad. After that, I took the form of the woman I killed, tricked the IV guy, and led them to the movie theater. Yeah, they'll think someone else killed her after they split up, right? I'll work out. He's just guessing. I'll work out from the IV guy's point of view. Her death wouldn't be connected to my tiff with her. If they find her body, the mafia probably wouldn't come upstairs en masse to kill Hisoka. Probably. I think maybe, probably not. I don't know. I should just ask Krollo, but I'd really like to get Finks' group to deal with Hisoka. We all know Krollo's hurting over Shell and Kortobi, and he's trying to act like he's fine because he knows that we know. He's trying to act fine because he knows we know. I'm surprised Benolinov is so in tune with the rest of the mafia, with the rest of the Phantom Troops' feelings and how Krollo is feeling. We know Benolinov is not one of the original members. He and Kortobi. Everyone knows he wants to settle it once and for all by himself this time. And that's the treasure he seeks on this ship. And that the treasure he seeks on this ship is an ability that he'll need to kill Hisoka for good. That's why everyone wants to kill Hisoka first, before Krollo can get to him. Krollo, you've kept the number 9 spot empty this whole time. We all understand. Let's get Hisoka. Let's let Hisoka be the last and close the curtain on this performance. He also knows about the whole performance shtick and stuff that they do. I guess it's part of the initiation into the troop. The fact that they do this entire thing as a performance for everybody. I guess. But then Hisoka wasn't, or was he? Was he initiated into the troop? Was he given a lot more information about their purpose and how they behave? Or why they're doing what they're doing? I don't know. Anyway, it's been 10 years since the brutal murder of Mr. Risnorth. 10 years. Okay, I had misremembered. I thought that this was happening immediately as we're on the boat. Okay, it's been 10 years since the brutal murder of Mr. Risnorth, the chairman of Mom's Help, the charity foundation dedicated to helping children. No suspects have ever been caught, but they definitely made it known that he was brutally murdered. Today, we look back at his contributions and pay our respects to his greatness. There has been a growing public outcry demanding the identification and arrest of his murderer. Buddy, you don't know. You have no idea. Didn't they initially report that credit had been acclaimed but then walked it back in a really weird way? Yeah. Maybe it's bad if the guy who did it gets caught. Dark web stuff. The untimely death of a philanthropist, haha. Who are these morons who take what the media says at face value? Something you wanted to know? Yeah, all of you guys have known Haley for a long time, right? No, their new boss just recently took over, yeah? So it's hard to predict what they're thinking, I suppose. If they're not even a functional mafia family, it's honestly hard to notice that something's off. What are you trying to say? Just that, is it really Haley on this ship? What do you think? Interesting idea. If they're not Haley, then who are they? They had the official succession ceremony. The boss even went, as did the rest of us. But if you're trying to say the previous boss was manipulated with Nen and killed, what's the current Haley boss like? A young woman named Morena, a royal descendant without succession rights. The Kakin Mafia boss titles are always inherited by a person of royal blood who has no claim to the throne, so it's not like we don't know her at all. But like you say, we're not so close that we know what she wants. Are they really Haley? On paper, yes, but we don't know what they're after. Did you guys get some sort of clue? We didn't find anything concrete, but we do know some things from fighting them. They seem to be doing whatever they want. Case in point, the wall guy came over and got himself killed. But when we went to their hideout, they were organized and their behavior showed they were under some leadership. So they are under our leadership, just not exactly being controlled word by word. Exactly. Their leader decides the strategy and specific tactics, and the specific tactics are left to each of them. That's our style, and they're using the same playbook. So the leader gives the strategy, and he's just willy-nilly saying, "Oh yeah, that's our playbook, our style." And he's like, "Oh yeah, even if you know this, it doesn't matter." I love the troop. The problem is A, what's their motivation? And B, what kind of orders are they operating under? What's their motivation and what kind of orders are they operating under? Okay, if they're trying to crush the other families, it makes sense to kill the other members. But they're killing civilians. Why? Who knows? Maybe A is something else. Exactly. Haley is trying to destroy everything. Oh yeah, now he's back to what he said before the flashback started. They're angry and they want to destroy everything. So on one hand, we have the Haley who have been hurt by the world and they want to enact revenge. And on the other hand, we have the Phantom Troop who have also been hurt and at one point did want to enact revenge on the world. But now, what happened to the spiders? How? Because Nobunaga says that they used to be like that, but they're not anymore. 10 years ago, when they got their revenge on this guy, this stupid nosed bastard, they used to be like that. But since then, they seem to have changed. They seem to have developed more as people. And they're not willy-nilly just trying to destroy everything in an anger. Where was I? Okay. Yeah, so what will happen with the Haley since they are kind of like an early stage Phantom Troop? In a way. If you squint. Kind of. Like, what kind of direction would Togashi take them in? He's definitely not going to make them into the Phantom Troop 2.0. My best guess is they probably going to be all annihilated for one reason or another. But what if they don't get annihilated? Can they actually change and become something else? Something that isn't just a force trying to destroy everything, like the Phantom Troop did. They're trying to destroy everything. Everything? Yeah, everyone aboard this ship, including the royal family. In other words, Kakin itself. The sealed chamber this cruise ship represents is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Also, there could be multiple motivations. The power needed to destroy everything. They're going to get that power. Using human sacrifices to obtain supernatural powers is a classic move. You know about contracts with limitations, right? They plan to kill all people anyway. They plan to kill all people anyway. So use number people they kill as condition. Make powerful nin. So use the number of people they kill as the condition. Okay. Look, I'm not one to talk, but this sounds crazy. It's certainly not normal. Not just Haley, you guys, for coming up with it. Just say, you guys are insane. You're bad shit crazy. How we came about this was twisted to begin with. That's why we place importance on balance, and we're proud to have supported the country from the shadows. A fight is a last resort and used to keep things in check. Civilians are our customers, and we've never thought of them as targets. Never thought of them as targets? I don't know. Wouldn't like the mafia usually operates by like scamming civilians? That's unless I'm misunderstanding. Like they sell drugs to civilians. They run scams that sometimes hurt civilians. At least like when you traditionally see mafias displayed in Japanese media. That's what I'm going off of. Like ordering a hit. Sometimes that could be a civilian as well. I understand, they look like the Haley, but they're not on the inside. There's something entirely different from us, the Kakin Mafia. Cha'a and Shiyu will fully cooperate. I'm asking you to crush Haley. The three of us will go on ahead then. Can you tell us, tell the rest of us and Henrik what to do? I'll send a grunt to fetch them. Morena, you've got a problem. These guys might find you far sooner than we expected. It accelerates the schedule a lot, but we might have to use our Joker. Oh, they translated it as our Joker. Not your Joker, huh? And this is the official translation, right? Yeah. And Morena, we finally got a Morena face. By the way, I wanted to use the volume cover, which was Morena's face for this stream, but then I realized that most of Morena's role in this volume happens at the second half, not in the first half. So I had to last second change the thumbnail, so we don't clickbait again. We barely see Morena in this volume, in this half of the volume. I hear Hulkenberg's funeral procession is taking place. A lot of people will gather for the send-off, a perfect opportunity. Think you're ready? Yeah, with everyone's help, I leveled up a lot. Look at him, he looks like the guy from Greed Island, Razor. I think his name is Razor. Yeah. I can sniff out nin types 5 meters away, and whether they've learned nin from 2 meters. Dogman Enhancer, level 62. If I sniff their heads up close, I can identify them 100%. I'll find them. Dogman is so hilarious. If Dog successfully finds who we're looking for, it's a green light, the beginning of the end. Alright, so exciting, but it's kinda iffy whether they'll join us once they hear our goals. Yeah, that's true. I'll try my best to make sure we get a yes. Never give up. Never surrender. Never give up. Yeah, that's true. I'll try my best to make sure we get a yes. So this is their search for Borkson, because they're searching for a specialist. Okay, let's go. How should I let you know if Sodom finds the target? I'll be by your side, so just point them out. I'll take care of the rest. My ability to abduct them counts on them not knowing Nin. I can bring them here by myself. Okay, Morena. Where did the others go? They're leveling up in processing. They really want to get revenge on Henrik. But these guys weren't involved with Henrik, right? But, oh no, these guys were involved with fighting Henrik initially, the two guys right and left. And he killed one of them when they on tier 3. Oh, just like Morena said, level 51 is sick, for reals. Let's go, hunt some mafia. Wait, level 50... What happens at level 50? They just get more power? Yeah, it's just 50 points for killing a prince. There wasn't a condition on level 50, right? At level 100 they become level 0 again, and they get to spread their power to 23 more people, or 22 more people, including themselves. Okay, a door. From here on out, things will be a bit rough. Whoa, what the heck? And that's it for the last chapter. Okay. Wait. Okay. So that's it for chapter 4 or 5, I guess. We'll end here tonight. Bro, I want to talk, but my voice has been killing me since the second chapter. I guess because we weren't practicing every day, huh? I think I'm gonna end stream early. But yeah, thank you so much, Chloe, for joining. Maybe next stream we go back over this and actually go into the details, but my voice is killing me. So I want to just finish early today. It's been how long? Let's check. It's been 3.5 hours already. Damn. Oops. It's been 3.5 hours already. Okay, that's a really long stream. I didn't even notice how long we've been streaming. I wasn't paying attention. There. Yeah. See you next time. Thank you. We'll see you. Goodbye.